as Avista Stadium, home regularly to the Spokane Indians baseball team, is today host to Western Hockey League action with the Spokane Chiefs entertaining the Kootenay Ice. You know, we thought our intro music for this broadcast a few days ago might be Blame It on the Rain by Milli Vanilli, but you know what? None of the players weren't even born when that song came out, and really, that is not expected to be a factor this afternoon here in Spokane. As I speak, standing from this very spot on the ice, it is plus 9 degrees Celsius. That, for our American viewers, translates into about 49 degrees Fahrenheit. That means it's not ideal conditions for a major junior hockey game. It will be wet. There will be puddles out here. And depending on how the sunshine looks right now to my left, you'll see numerous shadows that could affect especially the goaltenders in this game. A hero's welcome was greeted to the players from both the Kootenay Ice and Spokane Chiefs a couple of hours ago when they made their way to the ballpark. Now, these two teams faced each other last night in Cranbrook, British Columbia. The Spokane Chiefs were riding a 7-game winning streak into the Kootenays that night, but the Ice had other ideas, whipped them pretty good. So Spokane definitely has revenge on their minds today here at home against the Kootenay Ice. For more now on our day's events, let's head up to our broadcast team of Ian Furness and Kevin Sawyer. Fellas?
Joey, thank you very much. And first of all, I'm going to enjoy throughout the afternoon watching Joey and his calculator down there trying to figure out both Celsius and Fahrenheit for both audiences, both north of the border and down here in the United States as well. And as Joey mentioned, it is a little bit warmer than they thought, but no rain in the forecast, Kevin, and that was the biggest concern.
I think that they were worried about that and the sunshine as well. It looks like it's going to be good. A little bit of sun the players will have to contend with, but overall pretty good conditions.
Well, it's a great game and a great day to have hockey, and who would have ever thought it's a great day to have hockey outside? More on that in a second, but how about the game itself? Because you're talking about two of the better teams in the Western Hockey League. Not only is it just a unique time to have a game outside first ever, but it's a good matchup too. Two elite teams in the Western Hockey League. They played last night. Joey mentioned 6-2. Kootenay was a winner. Spokane seeing a 7-game winning streak end.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of times when two teams play each other on back-to-back nights, and the first night turns to be a bit of a gunfight, like it did last night in Kootenay with 8 separate fights, typically that next game can be a little bit uneventful. I don't believe for a second that's going to be the case here today for two reasons. One, both teams are fighting for top spot in their respective conferences. Second, I think Spokane's a little bit salty about that 6-2 loss.
And you kind of wonder if maybe Spokane was looking ahead to this game. It's a special game. They practiced here on Thursday. They had a public skate here last night. You kind of wonder if maybe the Chiefs, not to give them excuses, Don Nackbauer, the coach, wouldn't want that, but maybe they might have been a little bit distracted too.
I think that they could be a little bit preoccupied. This has been going on. The planning has been in for a couple of months now, well, for a year really, but the players are definitely excited about this. Hard to focus sometimes.
All right, well, a local product playing for the Spokane Chiefs, Tyler Johnson, who would have ever thought he'd have a chance to play in his home city outdoors in a Western Hockey League game? Joey caught up with him just a couple moments ago.
Tyler, not your typical day for hockey, is it? How excited are you to be on the outdoor ice in Spokane?
Really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. The crowd's already unbelievable right now, and so we're really looking forward to it, and we've been looking forward to this all year.
Did you ever think that growing up here, this your
toss
hometown
back
of
to
Spokane,
Joey,
that
right?
one day you'd be playing a Chiefs game
he'll toss to
under
Jay,
the
or
lights,
toss
but
to
under
Jay.
the blue skies as well?
No, I never imagined that, and it's quite a thrill, and very thankful for this to happen, especially on my 20-year-old season. So it's pretty special, and I'm always going to remember this.
You had an intense game last night in Cranbrook at the Kootenay Ice. Do you expect the fireworks to carry over today here in this game?
I think so. You know, our team didn't come out ready to play that night, and I think we're going to be a lot better today, and, you know, we can expect a good game.
Tyler, thanks for this. Good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, Joey and Tyler. And, you know, the thing is you've got a guy in Tyler Johnson who's playing in his home crowd, but it doesn't matter. He's always probably has that little extra go when he's playing in Spokane. I have to think, though, Kevin, every player on both sides, both Kootenay and on Spokane, they've got a little extra jump today.
Absolutely. You really got that feeling. Even at warm-ups, you saw the teams come out of their dugouts. That's weird to say that, but they were literally jumping, ready to go. You can hear them yelling on the ice. They're very excited, and why wouldn't they be? This is a chance of a lifetime for a lot of them.
And now, you're a guy that grew up north of the border. Did you ever get a chance to play a real game outside?
Absolutely. Actually, a couple years ago, I live on a lake in Christie Lake. It froze over great. I drained my hot tub on the ice. We made it perfect. Actually had my son and my daughter's teams played against each other outside. It was exciting.
Well, not all ice is made the same. Not talking about the Kootenay ice, but actually the ice on the surface we'll see today. Not all ice is the same, and for more on that, let's go back down to Joey.
He's the man in charge of getting the ice ready here for game action. We were talking a few minutes ago that 48 hours previous to game day, we were not even expecting sunshine. Has that made your job any differently today here on game day?
Yeah, definitely approach things differently. With the sun, I mean, we definitely have to keep the system a lot cooler to try to combat the sun. The other things that we're going to have to do is cut back on our water use or those types of things so that we don't have standing water out there during the game.
We should let our viewers know that not your typical Zamboni will be out on the ice cleaning it here in between periods. What are some of the changes that have needed to be made here in order to have the ice as good as playing a condition as possible, at least after 20 minutes?
Yeah, well, the contractor who is here, they have their own machines, or their ice surfacers, so they are definitely different than a Zamboni, but they do have a blade on them. They're able to trim up the ice a little bit. The big difference is they're just lighter for this type of application, but between the three of them, they basically have the same capacity as the Zamboni. So.
Can it be too warm? We're approaching 10 degrees Celsius here as we get that much closer to game time. Is there a certain point on the temperature gauge where you and the league and the teams have to say this game is a no-go?
I don't think that there's an actual temperature. We haven't discussed that. There's no guidelines as far as that goes. It's basically what the playing conditions are like and how well we can keep the surface. So.
Mike, we appreciate your time. I know it's a busy time for you as we get ready. Enjoy the day's events here in Spokane.
All right. Thank you very much.
Mike Craig, who's in charge of the playing surface today as we head back to our play-by-play booth, which is normally a broadcast booth for baseball. Is it a good location where you guys are at today, fellas?
Joey, absolutely no complaints whatsoever up here, although it is a little warm. We're in heavy jackets, obviously. There's a little bit of a breeze blowing, but hey, who's complaining? No rain, that's the biggest thing. And really, it's almost ideal. I wonder, though, you watched warm-ups, Kevin. Could you see anything, any nuances out there you normally wouldn't see?
No, I didn't. I was looking at the ice closely, and to me, it looked like the puck was sitting flat. I thought the players were going a little bit slower than they might normally. They were getting a feel for the rink, but for me, for the most part, it was pretty even.
I think it'll be interesting, too, to watch the start of the game as well and see if there's any, tentative play, any type of situation in which a guy's like trying to feel out the rink and, maybe it's just different dimensions. It's the same dimensions, but different kind of feel as far as line of sight, especially for the goaltenders.
Well, I don't think no matter how good the conditions are outside that the ice will ever be as good as indoor ice. So I think you're going to see both teams playing a real simple style of a game, dumping the puck in, getting on the forecheck, really getting a feel for the situation.
Well, the master of ceremonies today here at Avista Stadium is Jay Stewart. Let's go down and get him at ice level. Jay?
Northwest. And for one day only, the greatest outdoor rink in the world. We appreciate you spending the afternoon with us. How about this weather, huh? Let the sun shine. We are about to make history for the first time in 80 years. A hockey game is going to be played outdoors here in Spokane. It was 1937 when the Elm Street Arena was closed up in downtown Spokane, and the Spokane Canaries played outdoors. Now, for the first time in Western Hockey League history, we will be playing outdoors here at Avista Stadium. Right now, joining us at center ice, we have two very important people. Will you please welcome the commissioner of the Western Hockey League, Mr. Ron Robinson.
Thank you very much. Welcome to a very historic day in Western Hockey League. I am very proud today to be part of this opening ceremony and to express our appreciation. Who would have ever dreamt that you here today in the stadium would be attending a hockey game instead of a baseball game? But we've got a beautiful setting, and it would probably be appropriate that we would have this game in Spokane because we never underestimate the ownership, the management, the staff, the Spokane Chiefs. This is a first-class organization from top to bottom, but it's also got first-class fans, and look at the attendance here today. It's absolutely outstanding. We'd like to thank the Kootenay Ice for their participation, the all cooperation we've received through the support of sponsorship and media for this particular game, and we'd like to particularly congratulate Bobby Brett and his organization for hosting the first ever Western Hockey League outdoor game. And it's my pleasure to introduce to you Bobby Brett.
This ice is a little slippery right now. Over the last week, I probably had 5,000 people come up to me and thank me for bringing this game to the fans of Spokane. Let me tell you, we did it. And when I mean we, I'm not only talking about the staff from the Spokane Chiefs, the Spokane Indians, our wonderful, wonderful sponsors. But really, who made this happen are you, the fans. You made this happen. At this time, I want everybody, people in left field, right field, behind home plate, to stand up right now. Everybody up, let's go. And what I want you to do is introduce yourself and thank your neighbor to the left and thank your neighbor to the right for making this game happen. Is everybody happy now? The Chiefs can't hear you in the locker room. Are you happy now? Well, I think everybody's tired of me right now, and I want the show to begin, and the next thing that's going to happen is something very, very dear to my heart. I love bagpipes.
Well, the festivities continue. Ian Furness, Kevin Sawyer upstairs. We'll check back in with Joey Kenward in just a minute downstairs. But the crowd on its feet, as is the tradition in hockey before the teams come out, especially the home team, everybody on their feet. The music starts playing. It's a little bit more special today. We got a military flyover coming here in just a couple seconds as well. As the Kootenay Ice making their way out on the ice, the first team to come out here. And doesn't matter if you're indoors or outdoors, the visiting team comes in and you're going to hear a few boos.
They're getting booed for sure. The Spokane faithful are here in numbers. I think they have over 7,000 people on their feet.
There you see Kootenay, and the cheer in the background you hear is for the Spokane Chiefs led by Boomer. And there you see the American flag carried by former World Junior player for the United States. And of course, the local product, Tyler Johnson from Spokane.
It's a nice touch with both teams, obviously being from Canada, the United States, carrying their flags out with their first member of each of the team.
It's a nice gesture as well, having both flags here, two teams from both countries that represent the Western Hockey League. And this, of course, a league that spans both the United States and Canada. In addition to that, a couple of different states down in the United States. Of course, Kootenay from Cranbrook, British Columbia, just about, 4 hours from here. Teams made their way down after last night. You see James Reed, the goaltender, the 20-year-old for Spokane. Fireworks startled them a little bit. Why wouldn't they?
A little shell shock there. It looked like caught James Reed off guard.
They saw a look a minute ago of the crowd as the fireworks continue, and a lot of oohs and ahs. I would think a challenge too, Kevin, while the festivities continue, might be for both coaches to get their teams focused on hockey after the next 5 or 10 minutes.
And you can bet that that's something that they talked about leading up into this game. They knew that there was going to be all sorts of things going on. It's exciting and they should enjoy it. And yet, once it's time, they have to focus, be ready to play.
Let's go back downstairs to Joey.
Thank you very much, fellas. I've got Braden McNabb, the captain of the Kootenay Ice, with us here down at the ice level. You walked out with the Canadian flag. What's going through your mind as you prepare for not your typical WHL game?
Yeah, no, this is pretty neat. I know all the guys here are pretty excited for this. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so it's pretty cool, but we want to get the 2 points tonight.
You've got that black stuff under your eyes. Is the sunshine as big a factor as what our viewers might expect it could be?
I think it might be in warm-ups. I noticed it a lot, but right now it seems not so sunny, so I guess we'll see throughout the game.
Braden, good luck this afternoon. Enjoy the moment.
Thank you very much.
Back to you guys upstairs.
All right, and thank you very much. Let's go right back downstairs to Jay Stewart. Jay?
Helping families that have been affected by cancer. He was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in March 2009. We're happy to say right now that he is cancer-free. He's doing very well. Doing very well. Loves to spend his free time skating on his outdoor pond with his siblings. Fans, a huge Spokane Chiefs fan. Please welcome 14-year-old Jethro Gross. Fans, we've talked a lot about this being a historic day in Spokane playing hockey outdoors. It wouldn't be possible without a foundation of greatness that was laid by our hockey past here in Spokane. To help us drop the ceremonial first pucks for this afternoon's game, please welcome three very special guests. First, representing the 1970 and 72 Allen Cup champion Spokane Jets, please welcome Mr. Don Schierza. This next gentleman won a pair of Allen Cups, one with the Jets and another with the 1976 Spokane Flyers. Representing the Flyers, Dwight Carruthers. Ironically, this former Chief scored the first ever goal in the Spokane Arena. He scored 93 career goals in a Spokane sweater and played on the 50-win Western Conference Championship team in 1996. He now makes his home in Spokane. Please welcome back Joe Cardarelli. Captains from both teams are now joined Don, Dwight, and Joe at center ice for the ceremonial first puck drop.
And there you go, the ceremonial drop of the puck at center ice, and Spokane's got a terrific hockey history. As you know, you played in the old Boone Street Barn where some of those Allen Cup champions played.
Absolutely, what a great place that was to play indeed, and it's nice to see them recognize some players from the past. I got a chance to play with Joe Cardarelli, so it's nice to see him.
Let's go back down to Jay.
The U.S. Joint Forces Honor Guard, consisting of the Army National Guard and Fairchild Air Force Base, will also now present the colors of the United States of America.
For us to play brothers or something like that, it would be really awesome. We're going to leave him there for the whole interview because it's so crazy when you look at it. We have to start talking about some of the things because 2011 for you is going to be a crazy year. When you look at all the things that you're involved in coming up in a calendar year, it's got to feel pretty good to see everything coming up. Not every year is like the one that I've had, and I feel very fortunate for that. Not only for the quality of actors I worked with, but they were all complete. Stuff that was medieval, stuff was 10,000 BC, playing up. I'm going to hit somebody. I know, I'm scared to get a name.
Now, and it's funny because we're going to talk about a couple of the projects. The Lost Future is one. One you shot in South Africa. You guys were very dirty. The other one was called The Flesh Offering. Where did you guys shoot that one? Cabins where they didn't actually have heat. So if we're sitting in front of that fire and I look like the sound guy's like, okay, all you
And ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join Alicia Villanueva as she now performs the Canadian National Anthem.
I mean, do you guys have to stay somewhere? Just run out and do a scene. They'd have warm-up vans. We'd be sitting in there with our
Canada, our home and native land.
Extra sort of
True patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And please remain standing as Alicia will now perform the national anthem of the United States of America.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we won were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing until the color guards have left the ice.
What are you doing? We're going to talk about your other project, but is this a Christmas break for you?
And with the color guard leaving the ice, the opening ceremonies have been completed. We're moments away from dropping the puck. For the first time ever, the Western Hockey League goes outdoors today in Spokane. The Kootenay Ice and the Spokane Chiefs. It's coming up next. All right, here we go. Welcome back to Spokane, Avista Stadium. It is the Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic. About ready to drop the puck here in Spokane. Take a look at the goaltending matchups for tonight's, or should I say, this afternoon's game. In goal for the Kootenay Ice, Nathan Lewin, the 19-year-old from Abbotsford, British Columbia. He has been the workhorse. There you see his numbers this season at 2.69 goals against average. At the other end, James Reed, the 20-year-old from Calgary, Alberta, will be between the pipes. He's the #1 man for the Spokane Chiefs and a veteran netminder who is third in the league right now in goals against average. Our officials for this afternoon's games, Pat Smith and Nathan Wheeler are the referees. There you see the linesmen, Jeremy Del Campo and Jason Mickelbrook. They're both actually local products. And they're doing some finishing touches on the ice here, Kevin, as they make sure everything's ready to go. A little bit of a glare, but as if on cue here in Spokane. The sun has hidden behind the clouds, and we have dare I say, a perfect day for hockey.
Absolutely. They were worried about that a little bit. The glare was pretty bad in warm-ups, but you're right, Ian. It couldn't be better right now. The sun's behind the clouds. It looks like it's perfect conditions out there for these teams.
Steel Boomer and Steve Kewen will face off, it appears. We are moments away, and for the first time ever, the Western Hockey League has dropped the puck outdoors. We're underway. Gall will send it in for Spokane, and Lewin will get the first touch and almost turns it over. Does, and a chance, but Spokane couldn't capitalize with Gall coming in. Gall will chase it down in behind the Kootenay net. Luke Paulson after it there for the ice, and he'll leave it. You saw that puck stick a little bit right there. As the puck is cleared by Kootenay finally, and Jared Cowan, the outstanding defenseman for Spokane, back to get it. Tipped ahead. Down the left wing boards comes Kewen.
Well, Kewen had a goal last night in Kootenay, and a good move by Don Knockmore starting his line. They're a simple Simon type of a group with high energy, just chipping the puck low and trying to get some momentum early for their team.
Heard a nice check there by Lefko Koper down on the boards. In behind the net, Koper goes after the puck again behind the Kootenay net, and it's dug free and brought back the other way. To the blue line it comes. Matt Frazier couldn't get it deep. Now they do, and again, that puck seems, Kevin, like it's just not traveling as fast as normal, and we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. I think it'll take some getting used to for both teams as a chance comes in front, but unable to get a shot away on the ice.
And I think both teams knew that coming in here, as they have a chance in net front here. Kootenay does.
Boy, golden opportunity in front for Frazier, and Reed with the save. Tyler Johnson out now. He'll clear it up along the boards, and it's tipped back the other way by Uer.
Well, you can see for sure, Ian, that the puck is bouncing. It's like a bit of a rubber ball out there. The ice can't be perfect. They're going to have to keep it simple. That is for both teams, to try to keep the high-risk plays limited.
There's a chance, and sending it wide was Brady Bassert. And behind the net it goes, and it's scooped away. Luke Paulson for the ice will clear the zone. Inside his own end, Vans Court cleared to center ice no further, and Chiefs will again turn the other way. So it will be a little bit of a different game, a little getting used to for both teams. Probably once you acclimate a little bit to it, we'll see things pick up as Elgin Pierce starts the rush. Ahead it comes now down the wing. One shot taken, handled by Reed, and he will hold on. So our first whistle comes, 17:41 to go in a scoreless first period.
Well, you know that these guys here for the Spokane Chiefs are excited. They've been looking forward to this night for a long, long time. The key for them, to me, is to stay focused on their game plan now. The festivities are over, and now they've got to get to business.
Rosignol won the face-off, and shot taken, but it's immediately blocked. We're going to have a fight right off the get-go here.
Elizabeth Kramer's third fight in 2 nights here. As we talked about, 8 fights last night in Kootenay. And he's into it here with Brendan Hurley.
Hurley and Kramer landed some right hands. And Kramer trying to put away Hurley. A game contested, and finally the right hand says that's enough. 8 fights last night between these two teams, and it didn't take too long for round 1 to start today. 2:24 in.
Well, I'll tell you what, Darren Kramer was picked up, just a listed player here a couple of months ago, and he has been spectacular for the Spokane Chiefs. That's been one of the reasons right there, is he's been a big, tough enforcer for them. The key for this guy, though, is he knows when to fight. He does it at the right time.
And you see, they pick the time, and they drop the gloves, and Kramer, 6'2", 205-pounder, out of Peace River, Alberta, taking on Hurley. And out of Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, those two going toe-to-toe. No worse for the wear, it doesn't appear. Let's go down to Joey ringside. Joey?
Don't be shocked at all when I tell you that players right after the national anthem were saying, do you want to make history? Do you want to have the first fight ever in a WHL outdoor game? Fellas, I'm not lying. That was a pretty spirited bout. We'll see if, and the fans are into it now, if they weren't already, now that the sun has gone behind the clouds. The vibe and electricity here at this stadium has definitely been picked up.
UF for Spokane carries it in and sends it wide of the net. Johnson first one there.
Well, here's the big line for the Spokane Chiefs, and maybe one of the biggest players as of late has been Dominic Uer. He started the season off fairly slow with only 9 points in the first couple months of the season. He's more than tripled that here in the last 5 weeks.
A chance for Johnson on the doorstep, and Lewin got the pad out. At the blue line. Van Dane, long shot. Behind the goal it goes, Uer. Van Dane again at the line. Hard shot went wide of the mark. Baldwin let a shot go, and a nice pad save by Lewin. He kicked out that left pad, and Kootenay's going to have to ice the puck, and we'll get a whistle. Good pressure there by that top line of Spokane.
Yeah, they're a real high-skilled team, or a high-skilled line, that is. But to me, they're focusing on getting the puck to the net from the point with traffic. They've got 2 bodies minimum net front the whole time. They're just getting pucks to the net, hoping for an odd bounce.
Face-off will come to the left of Lewin. Nathan Lewin, 6'5", 191-pound netminder. He's a big kid between the pipes. But a nice year for Kootenay. Morantz. Right behind the goal. Dahl has it for Spokane. He got bumped along the boards by Rintoul, and looks like another turnover it is. Spokane able to hold it in. Hewen. Behind the net, Morantz. He's there with Gall, watched by Dirk. It's high up, and the fight for the puck in behind the Kootenay net. It's grinding away, and into the corner it goes. Centering pass broken up. Hewen was there, and Kootenay still unable to get the puck out. There's a shot taken that was blocked by the mass of bodies in front. Another opportunity as Hewen let it go, and again it was blocked. Rosignol will pick it up. He'll clear to the line, not out. Chiefs continue with the pressure. Rosignol for the ice. He'll get it to Isman, and he got it to the line, but still not out. Spokane still with the pressure on.
And you can see the puck jumping around big time right here. To me, that's where the difference in this game could be, is on the walls and stopping on pucks as the Chiefs create a chance.
Here's a shot to goal. Just like that, it's 1-0 Spokane. As you said, Kevin, what ended up happening, they just kept that pressure on, and they finally banged it in.
Well, really, that was an ugly shift. I mean, there was no pretty plays made whatsoever. The key to that shift, though, was being hard on the puck. Just when you think you have possession of the puck, it would take a funny hop, and maybe you lose it. You have to stop on pucks and win those battles on the walls. Ugly goal. Chiefs it's a big goal for the Chiefs as they go up early here, 1-0.
Especially after getting beat 6-2 last night. They fell behind 2-0 to Kootenay, and the Chiefs get on the board first. Back though comes the Kootenay ice. Here's an opportunity in front. What a play coming back defensively by Davis Van Dane.
Well, great stick position there by Van Dane. Stick in the passing lane. He knocks down that backdoor shot. That was a great scoring opportunity for Kootenay, broken up by Van Dane.
Valcourt the other way. He'll send a shot wide. And now we get another whistle, and we'll take one more look during the stoppage of that goal to make it 1-0 Spokane.
Well, as I said earlier, the Chiefs were winning their puck battles down below the net here on the wall. It's bouncing around here, but Brassard finds, I think that's Brassard on the back door, pardon me, for a great pass. Colin Valcourt put himself in a great spot in the back door. Put the Chiefs up 1-0 early.
Do a quick little, looks like work to the net down in the Kootenay end, but yeah, Valcourt was standing on the doorstep. They fanned on the first opportunity, banged in the second one. The Chiefs won that 1-0 lead. And quickly the net is fixed. Not too bad in terms of stoppages. We may have a couple of those throughout the afternoon, but thus the hazards of playing outside, I think everyone's just fine with that, with the atmosphere we've got here, and what an atmosphere it is.
And both teams are highly skilled. They have, their top 2 lines have a lot of skill, but to me it's going to be those 3rd and 4th lines that could make the difference in dumping the puck and making it a simple game on the boards, as I've said, keeping it simple and just trying to get ugly pucks to the net.
Aviani let a shot go, and Steele Boomer was able to deflect it over the glass and gave him a shot afterwards just for good measure. Face-off coming up to the right of Lewin.
Mike Aviani was a guy that was very close to making this team as a 16-year-old. The Chiefs decided to send him back to his midget team for one more year of seasoning, and he stepped into a real good defensive checking role, and he can also score and provide offense as well.
A whistle as they drop the puck, and not sure why, but we'll do it all over again. Holmberg out there with Aviani, and stepping in to take the face-off is Mike Aviani, 17-year-old from North Van. In behind the net, picked up by Braden McNabb. Backhanded to center ice and cleared. Quickly the other way, though, sent in by Paulson. Baldwin will Settle it, played it in the corner now, and Spokane able to get it to the line, but not out, held in. Kevin King with it, snapped the shot just wide. I don't think Reed saw it, didn't look for it. Spokane able to send it the other way though, and they'll get a change in that top line out there for Kootenay trying to make something happen.
And Kevin King gets one of the few shots for Kootenay in this first period. He had a big night last night for the Kootenay Ice, scoring 2 goals in their win over Spokane.
There's a shot taken high and wide by Mitch Holmberg, and the puck comes hard out to center ice, dumped right back in by Koper. Lewin will settle it in behind the net for Joey Leach, and he'll reset for Kootenay. Back it goes to Lewin one more time, and once more Leach goes back there. Has some pressure coming from Tyler Johnson, who tripped him up. And down the right wing comes for Frazier. Frazier will send it in.
Well, good gap right there by Jared Cowan, standing up in the neutral zone. He recognizes it's an even situation coming in towards his defensive zone, steps up with a big hit in the neutral zone.
Leach had a shot blocked by Johnson at the blue line, and Tyler Johnson got it out to the neutral zone, but picked right back up, and here come the ice again. Reinhardt got knocked down on the play with a big check, and Koper able to scoop it up and drop it in.
Well, that's one thing that I've noticed here with the Chiefs so far is they are being very physical. They're finishing every single check that they have the opportunity to finish. All their guys, as we see a huge hit by Gow in the neutral zone. Wow, he caught him with his head down, and we've got another fight.
And now Gow's going to go. Looks like Elgin Pierce. No, Gow's going to go. Is that Reinhardt?
Yeah, it's Reinhardt.
It is Reinhardt and Gow. That's a trade that Spokane will take all day long. Reinhardt jumped into Gow, and
well, Gow stepped up with a bone-crushing hit. He caught somebody from the ice with their head down, and it was a bone-jarring hit. And Reinhardt steps in to defend his team. And as you can see right here, whammo, wow, he really could have hurt him there. Dropped the shoulder on him, and good for Reinhardt to step in and defend his teammate. This is an 18-year-old player. He's got some history. He's drafted 3rd round by Calgary. His father played in the National Hockey League. He's got 2 brothers. one brother playing in the league and one soon to come. But this guy's a special player, a hard-nosed guy with some skill.
One more time, you saw Kramer and Gow in there, and Gow and Reinhardt. A little tussle at the end. That's a nice trade I mentioned for Spokane. You're talking about the leading scorer for Kootenay, Max Reinhardt, and he's been on a roll lately as well. 8 points his last 2 games. And now he'll sit for 5 minutes at least, maybe more. And one of the challenges of the outdoor games, we don't have a traditional scoreboard, but we've seen extra player going in for Kootenay, so the assumption would be they'll pick up an extra 2 here for an instigator. We'll see.
Well, you never want to lose one of your key players in Reinhardt, but you cannot fault him. And usually these are the penalties that you kill as a team because he's standing up for a teammate and he did the right thing there. No doubt that his team will rally for him and kill this penalty.
So the 4th best power play in the Western Hockey League, Spokane's goes to work with the man advantage, leading 1-0, and a long shot blocked in front. Getting a piece of it was Joey Leach. Back to the blue line. Cowan has it. Ottawa Senators pick, had it blocked in front. Picked away, Koper in front, deflected right on rebound, deflected again just wide. Johnson couldn't quite get his balance, and Lewin was there using that big 6'5" frame to make sure Johnson didn't have much to shoot at.
Well, normally you talk about an active stick, but right there, Dominic Ure had an inactive stick. He was standing net front all alone. He just had a stick on the ice, and it looked like he tried to just tip that puck in wide. He just missed by about an inch.
Tyler Johnson at the blue line, played it down low. On the boards it comes to Kitchen. Number 8 for Spokane, 3rd leading scorer among defensemen in the Western Hockey League. Good offensive D-man out there in the power play. Here's Cowan now with it. Spokane will get a change in. Cowan's stick goes right into half as Kootenay easily able to clear again. Out of his own zone now. Long lead pass by Vanscourt. Behind the net, picked away there by Bardero.
Well, it's tough to execute your game plan on what you would normally do on your power play when it is very tough to execute with your passes. It changes everything.
Here's Kiewit. Back to the line. Vanscourt got it down low. Kiewit trying to cut back in front. His shot got blocked, didn't get through.
One thing that Kootenay does very well, they're a little bit passive here in their box, but they're putting their bodies in the lane, blocking a lot of
Chance
shots.
in front, rebound, they score! 2-0 Spokane! Kewin able to get the rebound, and just like that, the power play goal gives the home team a 2-0 outdoor lead.
Well, good job down low by Blake Gall. with a bit of a spinorama shot, and he's got Steve Kuhn, who's got his second goal in as many nights, on the back door wide open for the rebound goal. He's able to get it by Lewin to put the Chiefs up 2-0. Well, I had that backwards. Kuhn is the one that made the initial shot, and Gal came on the back door nonetheless. Great play in tight by the Chiefs.
I think from our distance away and our glare, we might be able to be excused for missing a 10 and a 20. Nevertheless, the end result is the same. It's 2-0 Spokane on the power play. We got another fight at center ice. Third fight of the first period. Montgomery going this time with Valcourt. Valcourt for Spokane, Montgomery for Kootenay. Right off the drop of the ensuing face-off.
You get the feeling that these two teams really do not like each other.
Yeah, as Joey said, someone wanted to make history. Now it's just two teams that have seen a lot of each other in the last 14, 15 hours.
And make no mistake about it, it's a hyped up game, and everybody's very excited to be a part of this. But at the end of the day, these teams are looking to get the 2 points out of this game.
Linesmen do a good job to get in. Jeremy Del Campo, Jason Mickelbrook. Two combatants a little bit tired at the end, and we'll have more players heading to the penalty box, which is filled up quickly here in the first period. We have 11:27 to go in the first. 2-0 Spokane. Joey? All right, we don't have Joey's mic on right now. We'll get it back together in just a second. Get him hooked up down there. He's sitting right between the benches. And as he sits there between the benches, I'm sure he's getting some pretty good back and forth between the two teams. We have Joey. Let's go back down to him. Try again. Joey? Well, still nothing down there. We'll get that fixed and get back to him in just a couple of seconds as we dish out the penalties. We'll try to figure out the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and looks like 5-a-side hockey. So matching majors for the two players, Montgomery and Valcourt. Face-off comes into the inside the Spokane zone. Control by Kootenay. Long shot blocked in front, getting a piece of that. Vanscourt. His lead pass missed, but goes on net, so the icing obviously not in play. There's Lewin will clear.
We saw Lewin cough up a puck on the first shift of the game, but typically he's a very good puck handler. That's one thing that's a huge advantage for defensemen on your team, if the goalie can come out and play it, as we see James Reed does here on the other end of things.
Reed played the puck, but almost had the puck beat him back in front. Here's a shot that went just wide. Good opportunity there for Antilla. Scored last night in the 6-2 win over Spokane. Back to the line, held in. Cowan ahead now to Kramer. Center ice it comes, dumped in now by Mitch Holmberg. Holmberg watched by Luke Paulson. Holmberg trying to fight through the check. It's from his knees. Got it back looking for Cowan. Cowan couldn't hold it in. Forced outside by Kevin King, the 20-year-old, for Kootenay. And then Lewin misplayed the puck in behind the net. Took a bad bounce, a chance in front. Now here's a one-timer, and that one doesn't get through.
Wow, Lewin really is aggressive in his crease. He's really coming out from his net there to cut that angle down. He had to have been 8 feet outside his net.
Get an offside call there as King brought it in, and that puck just kind of stuck on him literally right at the blue line, so the whistle goes. And the faceoff coming back to the neutral zone with just about 10 minutes to go here in period number 1. 2-0 Spokane. We've had 2 goals, 3 fights. Not sure what else you could ask for the first outdoor game.
A lot of excitement to deal with. And one thing I noticed too, both goaltenders on both teams have played the puck, I think, about a total of 4 times, and about 3 of those times have turned into opportunities again, so maybe something they want to stay away from tonight with the ice.
Bouncing puck is played in now by Elgin Pierce of Kootenay and picked up by Van Dane. Out of his own end, Vanscourt. You will hear that correctly. There are some similar names on the Spokane team. Kewen, not a similar name. Unable to hold it in. Van Dane plays it over to Vanscourt. Thank Don Nackbauer for pairing those two together. Davis Van Dane, Tyler Vanscourt.
That's a challenge for you tonight.
Now we have an ice player falling down as Elgin Pierce lost an edge. And the puck brought the other way by Cowan. Brassard dropped it off. Cowan's got a man cutting in front. Shot save made by Lewin. Oh, what a save with the right pad. Knocked it away. Beautiful save to keep it a 2-0 hockey game. It has been eventful so far. The Chiefs putting on a show in the first ever Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic. They lead by 2.
Down here at the Spokane Chiefs bench with Chiefs bench boss Don Knockbauer. Is that the ideal start you want out of your team here in this outdoor classic today?
Well, we're happy. 2-0 lead. Ice is just as I expected. Went through it last year in the American Hockey League. Going to be a lot of turnovers, and as the night goes on or afternoon goes on, I think the ice is going to deteriorate a little bit. But we're doing the right things right now. Happy about that.
Happy that the sun is behind the clouds. I'm sure it's made it easier on the goaltenders and even the coach, even though he's still wearing the shades.
To be honest with you, I was hoping the sun would stay out for the first and third period because it's right in their goalie's eyes.
Don, thanks for this. Good luck the rest of the way.
Joey.
Back to you guys upstairs.
Who would have thought you'd ever see Don Knockbauer wearing sunglasses in a game? Good luck for him. Good luck.
What a great job he's done with the Spokane Chiefs. They had a bit of a shaky start, some growing pains. It was a big learning curve because he implemented a new system for the Spokane Chiefs. But talk about buy-in from a team. That's what makes this team so special is they play as a team, and that's why they're winning like they are.
Face-off coming up to the left of Lewin, who just made a terrific save off Matt Morantz to keep it a 2-0 hockey game. And I think Don Knockbauer said it best, Kevin. It's going to be one of those games you're just going to have to deal with turnovers, the puck bouncing, sticking, what have you, and you just got to grind your way through it. Same for both teams. Morantz tipped the puck, looked like with a high stick. Play continues as it goes down the left wing, and Blake Gall has it. Morantz jumps in after it as well, but Morantz able to get to it behind the net. Centering pass in front. They score! 3-0!
Well, great job by Kenton Miller activating from that weak side D, but you'll see the play starts again on the walls, down below the goal line, winning little battles. I heard Brendan Kitchen call for that puck all the way up here in the booth. As you can see down low, Morantz gets the puck, protects it, finds Kitchen activating from the weak side point, and he puts it away. It's a bit of a runaway here in the first half of the first period here at 3-0 for the Chiefs.
Well, Brendan Kitchen, his 10th of the season, his 40th point of the year. We mentioned he came into this game. He's the third leading defenseman scorer in the Western Hockey League, and he nets number 10 on the season. And he beat Lewin upstairs, who had really no chance and really hasn't had much of a chance on the goals.
He's not a big guy at 5'11". He's known more for his skating and his puck-moving abilities, but he got in a fight last night. He plays a gritty game. He's second in the league with a +29, so he does things on both ends of the ice.
And remember, keep in mind, leading scorer for the Kootenay Ice is in the penalty box after a fight. Max Reinhardt still has some time to serve. Here's Koper centering pass, looking for Uair, and he didn't quite get it to him. Uair, though, holds it in. Tried to get it deep, and Pierce lost it in his skates. Back to the line, nobody home for Spokane, and that puck goes the length of the ice. Fans court, an 18-year-old from Corona, California. You can bet he hasn't played a lot of outdoor hockey, and sends the puck in. Kootenay quickly the other way. Right wing, Rosignol hits the line, tried to go by the defenseman Corbin Baldwin, could not, and Morantz will start back for Spokane. Shot block, rolls to Lewin. He couldn't cover up, tried to scoop it up, and almost baseball style, appropriate. Couldn't quite get that one to roll into the glove, and Spokane still in possession. Van scored, centering pass, they score! Looked like Kramer got a stick on it in front, and just like that, it is 4-0 Spokane.
Well, that was Matt Morantz with the tipping in tight, but the play started again with the entry. Puck was wide, just a textbook play. As you'll see, that middle guy drives to the net, and a high guy was wide open. I found it interesting that they put the puck to the net looking for a rebound, and as the shift went on, you'll see here the D-man activated, and Morantz is in a great spot right there to tip in. The fourth goal for the Chiefs here with 7 minutes left in the first.
Great look at it there. Morantz going to the front of the net. Morantz his 10th of the season. And it looks like a timeout maybe being called by Kootenay, and I believe we'll have a goaltending change as well. At least the backup, Brett Teskey, is getting up and walking over there, and he kept looking over at Chris Knobloch, the head coach for Kootenay. And maybe not a goaltending change, and hard again to blame Lewin right now. But 4-0 Spokane with the advantage. Don Knockbauer, Kevin, he said it to Joey just a minute ago. They just have to kind of grind away and deal with it. almost, he didn't say this, but it sounds like almost win ugly in a sense.
Well, you know what, though, for sure, that's the way. If you're going to win this game, it has to be an ugly win. And to me, the Chiefs are doing all those ugly things right, though. They're entering the puck wide. They're just putting it on net with bodies right there. And as you see here, Teske, the backup goalie for the Kootenay Ice. Talk about a tough position to be in. You're sitting on the bench, and it's cold outside. But this guy, he's had some success this year with 12 games played. He's had a couple shutouts, another very capable goaltender for the Kootenay Ice.
And interesting, as Lewin stays in, Teske kind of shaking his head there, probably not because he's not going in. I wonder, sometimes you make a change just to shake things up, not so much Lewin's fault, but were you surprised they didn't do that, Kevin?
I'm a little bit surprised, you know, but the timeout in itself was called at the right time, even though it's still in the first period. They definitely have to try to find a way to change the momentum. Something's got to change here for Kootenay for sure.
Spokane, they can score. They're #1 in the Western Hockey League, averaging 4.15 goals a game, and they're just under that mark right now as they get an icing call against Kootenay. With 7 minutes and 11 seconds to go in period #1. It has been all Spokane. If you were the Spokane Chiefs management, you could not have written a better script. 4 goals, first period, couple scraps, full house. Little cloud cover as well. Everything's going as planned. Not so much for Kootenay, though, but again, this is a very good offensive team, and once Reinhardt gets out of the penalty box, they can get that line back together. The Reinhardt line has 19 points in its last 2 games, so they can fill it up in a hurry.
Definitely not a part of Knobloch's game plans to have Reinhardt out, as I said earlier. Did it for the right reasons, but it'd be nice if it was somebody that wasn't such a key to your offensive success.
Looks like a little stoppage again. Maybe there's an issue at the net. As you see referee Pat Smith down there. Let's go back downstairs to Joey.
Thank you very much, guys. Well, you can see Mike Smith, who is the ice man in charge of the operations here today, has just given a bucket to one of the linesmen, that being Jason Mickelbrook, or excuse me, it's being linesman Jeremy Del Campo. So they're just doing a little bit of patchwork on the ice. The big thing that I think is a factor, or a non-factor if you will, is there's not many shadows on the ice here as this first period is continuing on, because when the sun was out, especially when the teams were here for warm-up, guys, the shadows, I think, were really affecting not only the goaltenders, but also those shooters who were taking shots from the point. With all the glare that would be coming off from the sunshine off the players' helmets or their equipment, that could really rattle a player, whether shooting or a goaltender trying to make a save. Now, I'm not saying that's at all been a factor in Nathan Lewin allowing 4 goals in the first 12 minutes in this period, but it's certainly something to keep in mind as we're ready to get back to action. Guys?
Joey, thank you very much. And quick look here at 4 goals, all here in the first period by the Spokane Chiefs.
Well, all simple goals, and they've all come off of the wall there. As you see, Brasso coming off the wall with the strong play to the net. Hewen to Gal on the rebound here as well. All in tight goals, simple, nothing overly pretty, but they're getting pucked to the net every single time.
Yeah, they're all, in some ways, very similar goals, aren't they, Kevin?
Yeah, they definitely are.
Spokane with those 4 goals on top, 4-0. Kootenay, as we get back to live action, unable to sustain anything. Another chance for the Chiefs, breaking in, backhander, and crashing into Lewin was Blake Gall. And we'll see what the call is, and it might be on Spokane. Maybe Gall didn't make much of an effort to get out of the way.
Well, to
Not
me,
maybe he didn't.
Well, it was tough. I don't think by any means did he mean to run into Lewin, but this is just a result of what they've been doing all day long here. As you see, Gal going to the net hard. He's driving to the puck, driving to the net with the puck. Typically, if you do make contact with a goalie like that, you're going to you find yourself in the box for 2 minutes, which Gal has found himself here.
Yeah, James Martin, the defenseman, was there, but kind of let go, didn't really do too much.
Yep.
I'll go back down and fix that goal again. As you see Gall in the penalty box, he'll take a seat sitting next to his teammate Colin Valcourt. Blake Gall, the 18-year-old from Lethbridge, and more work being done down in. Joey mentioned the patchwork done along the boards. That 1 goal at the ice end with Lewin down there seems to be a little problematic, but this is an opportunity and a big one, is it not, for Kootenay? They need to get something going here offensively.
Absolutely. They got to make this power play work for sure. And the thing, again, is on the other side of things, they have to keep it simple. And to me, I would just throw every puck to the net that they can and just have bodies go into the net for rebounds. This is definitely a big power play for them.
Van Daan clears the puck, so Martin has to go back to pick it up. The Kootenay Ice are 13th in the 22-team league, 18% on the power play this year. And Spokane penalty killers, very good. They are second in the league. Here's a turnover. Tyler Johnson with a long shot and the save made and held on by Lewin. Short-handed opportunity. Let's go back downstairs to Joey.
Thank you very much, guys. I was just speaking with the Vice President of the Western Hockey League, Richard Dirksen, who is taking in this game from the penalty box. Now, he is in constant communication with the referees throughout this game. Now that the sunshine's not a factor, they're worried about maybe some excess puddles that are taking place on the ice. And if that's the case, they might have to have a little bit of an extended first intermission break just to make sure that the ice freezes as best as it can here as we roll along in the afternoon in Spokane, Washington.
Joey, real quick, if you can hear me, is it still dry? Because it looks like it might be getting, is it damp out? Is it drizzling at all, or is it still dry outside?
No, it's been fantastic conditions out here, guys. There's not a raindrop to be seen, knock on wood, and just a little slight breeze, which makes for ideal conditions if you're playing an outdoor hockey game.
Certainly ideal for the home team. They're up 4-0. I think Kootenay might beg to differ right now. On the power play, though, are the ice. Turnover at center ice. The puck is tipped up along the boards.
We talked about the Spokane being second in the league on their penalty kill. They were the first for the longest time up until last night's game in Kootenay. But one thing, they're very dangerous on the penalty kill, as well as Tyler Johnson, second in the league with 5 shorthanded goals, because he almost made that 6 earlier in the shift.
3 power play goals last night on 5 chances for Kootenay. They really took advantage of the Spokane penalties last night. Spokane, a dangerous team. They have 10 shorthanded goals this year. They're second behind only Medicine Hat in that regard. McNabb ahead, it comes down to Elgin Pierce. James Reed hasn't had much to do back in the Spokane net. Puck cleared length of the ice. Spokane doing a nice job on the penalty kill thus far.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. They're not overworking themselves. They're just putting themselves in puck lanes. They're blocking shots, although there hasn't been very many, but they're being very patient and disciplined to their systems, making it hard for Kootenay to generate any kind of offense.
Just a couple seconds left to go in the man advantage as Gall stands up, Kitchen with the puck, and he'll play it off the glass and able to clear. Back on comes Gall, so Kootenay 0 for 1 with a man advantage, and opportunity goes away as they still trail 4-0. Morant's behind the net. Trying to work it in front there for Spokane, but unable to do so was Bardero.
Well, you look at all these little puck battles right now, and Spokane is winning all of them in the offensive zone, as Morant's won a couple of them, and they're able to be puck tough, keeping the puck in the offensive zone for almost the whole shift.
Brasser played it behind the goal. Clear to the corner now, swept there away by Joey Leach. Back to pick it up at center ice is Davis Van Dane.
Well, what a D-pair match that is between Baldwin and Van Dane. I think that's about 14 feet of D-man without including their sticks. Those are 2 big towering guys.
Both teams have pretty good size too. You watch them. It's very common. Many guys over that 6-foot mark. Puck kind of stops right in front of the benches. Now it's pushed inside the zone by Bardero, and on net, Lewin. It's cleared along the boards.
Good job by Gow activating on the wall.
Gow held it in. Unable to do so on the far side, though, was Van Dane. 3.5 to go, first period. Spokane just all over Kootenay here. Down the left wing, a chance. Aviani in front, and a huge hit. Aviani paid the price as he goes up high, and it's like a glove pass. Faceoff will come out, and all that, and number 16 for Spokane got knocked into next week.
Oh my God, he was jumping, reaching for that puck with a glove hand here, and you're going to see Braden McNabb come in, and he just about ended things for the night for Aviani right there as he's off his feet, and didn't look like McNabb got a full piece of him right there. Nonetheless, that's a punishing hit. Looks like Aviani could be in some pain.
That didn't feel too good. And again, more importantly, first outdoor game, you don't want to be the poster, you don't want to be the highlight in this game. Big hit though. Kootenay needs something to get it going. Dirk couldn't get it out. That shot almost got through and did, and just over the crossbar it goes. Boy, Spokane just buzzing. They have really adapted to this slower ice surface at the Chiefs.
Yeah, they really have, and again, I keep repeating this but it's because of their simple play. They're just pushing the puck in, really. They might as well be playing with shovels sometimes on the entries, because they're just shoveling in down deep and going and winning battles.
Johnson with the puck for the Chiefs. Let a shot go, just missed high and wide. Held in by Uer. Now Kootenay able to clear. Icing is waved off, and Jared Cowan will go back to pick it up. A 2-time medalist for Team Canada at the World Juniors, silver this year. Ottawa Senators draft pick, lead pass misses. King tipped to the line, but couldn't find his man. Back it goes inside the Kootenay zone.
And Cowan played his second year, as you said, Ian, with the World Junior Canadian team. And last year didn't see a whole lot of playing time. This year improved a lot. He was a key player for Team Canada, but they fell a little short, obviously, with the silver medal.
Get a whistle on the offside with 2:07 to go here at the Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic. And as you can see, really, in a sense, you could have asked for much better, maybe cooler temperatures. It's 47 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll have Joey do the math on what that would be Celsius, 47 Fahrenheit. 81% humidity and the calm winds here. That was actually a big concern as well. We haven't talked about the winds that could have come into play, and if that did come into play, they'd split which way they went. They kind of split each period in half, but so far that's not a factor.
Well, I think the Chiefs and the Western Hockey League were prepared for pretty much any kind of weather that could be thrown at them, and there was a solution to almost everything except for the rain, which is the big one. As long as it's not raining, I think they could deal with anything.
Rain is forecast for later this afternoon, but they're hoping it comes after the game is over. Here's King, a shot save made with a blocker by Reed.
That may have hit where the post meets the crossbar right there. I think I heard iron. Nice shot by King.
Valcourt able to pick it up, and he'll clear for Spokane. Ships it along the boards. That's why I asked Joey earlier about the rain, because it is the clouds have become a little bit darker, which is great in terms of cutting the glare down. But also, not that I'm a meteorologist or you, but it does have that little feel in the air, does it not, as a puck tipped in. As we go along, we can explain what the different rules and regulations are for the outdoor game. Should we have rain? Should the weather become unplayable? Spokane right now probably crossing his fingers with a 4-0 lead, albeit in the first period.
Well, great job by Spokane on having numbers coming back here as Kootenay has a chance.
There's a chance in front and a save made. I think Reed either got a piece of it or perhaps it was stopped before it got there. Now a shot taken and deflected wide. Van Dane might have actually blocked that for Reed, the defenseman. Ceremonial in front. Here's a chance, they score! And just like that, Kootenay's on the board. Pierce able to nestle it into the net. And just like Spokane has scored its 4 goals, Kootenay just grinding away inside the zone. And they're finally able to find the back of the net. Elgin Pierce, his 7th of the year, the Port Coquitlam native, able to bang it home past James Reed. We'll see if that gives Kootenay a little bit of life late in the first period.
Well, I think finally Kootenay's figured out how they're going to generate some offense. And Ceremonial earlier in the shift has the puck down low, as you see here, and he tries a wraparound in tight, but notice how many bodies there. There's 3 Kootenay bodies in tight. And obviously that's how the Kootenay Ice and the Spokane Chiefs both are going to have to generate their chances.
Boy, was that a terrific look on our replay, too, from our crew. You saw the patience. That was, most guys you want to just first time bang it home, and instead Pierce able to wait just long enough and tuck it home. Terrific goal, and it's 4-1. Comes in the final minute of the period, which is always a big bonus. And here comes the Ice again, right back inside the zone. Morantz will try to get it to Kitchen, who clears for Spokane to the line. Didn't get it out, though. Held in by Kootenay only for an instant as time ticks down. Inside of 10 seconds left to go in the period. Long shot. Reed goes to his knees, has some problems with that puck, and he's going to have to hold on. And we'll get a face-off with 5.8 seconds left to go in the period, and that face-off comes inside the Spokane end.
Well, one thing I've noticed with both goaltenders is they're having troubles with the rebounds. Does that have anything to do with the ice conditions and the outside factor? I'm not quite sure, but uncharacteristically of both ends, shots are on net and the rebounds seem to be spitting into the slot a little bit more than normal.
So just inside, about 6 seconds, 5.8 left to go in the period. Drop of the puck and a big win for Spokane, and they'll be able to get the puck out and kill the rest of the clock. Long shot taken, Lewin gloves it, and that does it. The first 20 minutes outdoors in the Western Hockey League are in the books. And the home team jumped out to a 4-0 lead. A physical first period, a chippy first period, Kevin Sawyer. And nevertheless, Spokane with that 4-0 lead, probably not as happy as it could have been or maybe should have been. They were up 4-0, it's now 4-1.
Yeah, well, what a huge goal for Kootenay late in the period. They really needed something to go right for them. They didn't have a whole lot of energy and it didn't really have a whole lot of things to feel good about. Not a great period for them, but they had a good last couple shifts of the period and able to feel a little bit good about generating some offense there.
We have a lot coming up between periods. We'll hear from the commissioner of the Western Hockey League. And Joey will be chasing down some more interviews. Many people to talk to, many people to thank as well here in Spokane this afternoon as our first ever Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic. 20 minutes down, 40 minutes to go. In fact, speaking of Joey, let's go down to him right now with the captain of the Spokane Chiefs. Joey?
Thank you very much. That's Jared Cowan. Jared, what an atmosphere here. Could you have asked for a better start for the Rockstar Outdoor Classic for the home team today?
No, I think we have a great turnout. It's good to see a lot of fans come and support us. I think it's an exciting thing for hockey in Spokane. I can't think of a bigger event than this so far, so it's a great thing to see.
What was preparation like for you leading into this game, maybe a little bit differently than you would prepare for a game inside?
Yeah, I mean, not much tough, too different, but I think it was more different because of the game last night and coming back here and playing another game within 24 hours. So it's a big turnaround, but the ice is doing pretty well so far. I think we're pretty happy with it.
Did it surprise you that the Sparks were firing on all cylinders after what was a very eventful night in Cranbrook one night ago?
Not really. We were pretty excited before. I think the guys are really ready to go, and I don't think the bus ride affected us at all. We're pretty excited, so I think the mental part's being the physical part right now.
Jared, this has been an interesting couple of weeks for you. Not only are you playing outside, but you're playing in the WHL. You represented Canada at the World Junior Hockey Championships. Just talk about life as a hockey player, because it's not your typical winter for a guy like you, is it?
No, last year and this year has been a bit of a longer season, shorter break in the Christmas time, so I got to go home for a bit. But it's a lot of hockey in a short amount of time, but it's good hockey, so it makes it a lot easier to play.
Jared, thanks for this. Good luck in the rest of today's game and the rest of the season with the Chiefs.
Thank you.
Jared Cowan, captain of the Spokane Chiefs, joining us here after 20 minutes of play at the Rockstar Outdoor Classic. Stick around, lots to talk about, including a conversation with the commissioner of the WHL, Ron Robinson, next. You're watching the Rockstar Outdoor Classic WHL hockey game in Spokane, Washington. Welcome back to a sold-out Avista Stadium. It's home to the Spokane Indians baseball team, but today it's home to Western Hockey League action as the hometown Spokane Chiefs are in a 4-1 lead after one period of play on the visiting Kootenay ice. Hello, everybody. Joey Kenward back ringside, back in the ball diamond here, and I'm joined by the commissioner of the WHL, Ron Robinson. More than 7,000 fans for an outdoor game in Washington State. When you first took on the commissioner's job back in 2000, did you ever think you'd see such a day?
I don't think we ever dreamt of this, of course, and obviously in Spokane with ideal weather conditions and a great crowd, over 7,000 people here just jammed in. It's a great day for the Western Hockey League and for the Spokane Chiefs organization.
Now, the temperatures and the weather conditions we're experiencing as we speak are exactly what we were thinking they would be when it was puck drop, but I'm sure there were a few beads of sweat on many eyebrows in this facility when the sun was out just before opening face-off.
Well, we've had all sorts of weather conditions come through this area in the last week. We've been tracking it with the meteorologist, and we had snow earlier in the week, and then of course rain was forecast, but we just got a perfect window here. The sun that was in the eyes of the players in the warm-up has disappeared. Now we got cloud cover. We got an absolutely ideal day.
You had an absolutely ideal crew put together behind the scenes that hasn't really deserved the credit that they should be getting. This was not something that was thought of overnight. There were many, many hours and many, many work hours that were heavily dedicated to having this project get off the ground.
Well, this is a mammoth task. It's a major undertaking by one of our franchises, Bobby Brett, the ownership group, but the entire staff of the Spokane Chiefs, assisted by the Spokane Indians, as you mentioned earlier, that are combining their efforts to put this event on. You don't play hockey games in baseball fields and stadiums of this nature. There's a lot of infrastructure work that has to go into it to make ice, to make sure we've got enough power and heat and so forth, to make sure the conditions for the players are acceptable. And we're very fortunate. We've got a good team of people here that have done just an outstanding job.
You've gotten great cooperation as well from the ice-making crew that come in from out of town. These are experienced people, aren't they, in trying to put a rink in a baseball stadium. There's family ties to the NHL Winter Classics, which have gone off in a huge way here in the United States. Just talk about the cooperation you've been getting from them.
Well, you need an awful lot of cooperation, of course, in the National Hockey League. This was all inspired by them, and really give them credit for the the Winter Classic and, of course, the Heritage Classic in Canada, and the Edmonton Oilers, for that matter, for initiating that project. And now we've just sort of picked up from there and have done it. This is the first ever, of course, outdoor event in the history of the Western Hockey League, and I think it's just going to continue to build. Of course, we have another game coming up in Calgary, February 21st, as part of the Heritage Classic celebrations. The NHL have been very cooperative in that respect, and we've borrowed some of their staff to be here today to assist us through this as well.
A few more moments here with Ron Robinson, the commissioner of the Western Hockey League, joining us at Avista Stadium. 4-1, by the way, the Spokane Chiefs leading the Kootenay Ice after one period, in case you're just tuning in. Ron, you mentioned the outdoor game that's going to be played in Calgary at McMahon Stadium, and that's a football stadium with lighting all around. What's the process been like in Alberta preparing for that game in a little over a month's time?
Well, again, we've been very fortunate to have full cooperation of the National Hockey League and the Calgary Flames, of course, who felt it was important, who own the Calgary Hitmen, to play a Western Hockey League game in addition to the NHL game. It's going to fall on the Monday, February 21st, which is a Family Day holiday in Alberta. We are expecting between 25,000 people to attend the game. It's going to be come one, come all, because the ticket prices are very, very low. It's going to be affordable for everybody, and it's going to give them an opportunity, those who can attend the NHL game the day before, to experience the outdoor venue. And if today's any indication, with the excitement here in Spokane, I'm sure some of these fans will want to go to Calgary as well.
You've got the Calgary Hitmen that day playing the Regina Pats, two teams that are struggling this year in their respective divisions, but there should not be one player inside that organization that shouldn't be fired up no matter what the wins and losses columns look like when they face each other that day in Calgary.
Well, the game should be all about the players and certainly the fans as well, and what a great way to showcase our game. The Pacific Northwest with this game here in Spokane, a great chance to show everyone that maybe doesn't normally attend a hockey game or watch a game on television what a great product it is, and we're just delighted to have a second opportunity in Calgary as well this season.
You've also got an interesting opportunity to showcase your product in a market that it's never gone to before, and coming up, the Kamloops Blazers and Vancouver Giants are going to do battle in what will be a very important BC division matchup in Whitehorse, Yukon. Just talk about the decision to go to that northern point on the map and how you expect it to come off.
Well, we're certainly doing some events this year we never envisioned. First of all, 2 outdoor games in one season, and then in addition, as you mentioned, to place our first ever regular season game in the Yukon Territory. Community of Whitehorse is celebrating that along with CBC and Hockey Night in Canada. It's going to be a great opportunity for us to assist with promoting the game in a very remote area of the country, an area that quite frankly does supply players to the Western Hockey League, is part of our territory. It's important for us to have a presence there, and thanks to the Kamloops Blazers and the Vancouver Giants, we're going to do it. These are big 2 points as well. You can't forget the fact we're playing regular season games, even here today with Spokane and Kootenay, and of course there with Kamloops and Vancouver. So all in all, these special events are a great way to promote our game.
There are some fantastic races in both the Western and Eastern conferences as we make our way that much closer towards playoff time. 2 of the hotter teams are the teams that are facing each other today. They faced each other last night up in Cranbrook. Maybe just a quick assessment from the commissioner's chair of what you've seen from both Spokane and Kootenay to this point in their seasons.
Well, once again, as you mentioned, all 4 divisions, we've got some great races going on, especially in that BC division. Every day you're not sure who's in first or last place in the overall standings. But when you look at these 2 teams, arguably 2 of the teams that could be favored to make a long run in the playoffs, and who knows, be in our league championship. But there's a lot of teams out there that are going to have a lot to say along the way. I think it's going to be outstanding playoffs, and we can't wait to get going in March.
We've got a lot of our viewers today on Fox Sportsnet, which might be watching their first ever WHL game this season. And if they get a chance to watch any of the 5 teams play in the U.S. division over the next couple of months before playoff time, it's probably worth their while, isn't it?
It's going to be a great stretch run. There's no question. There's some outstanding teams. I think we're going to have a great representative to the MasterCard Memorial Cup ultimately in May. But what a great time to be a hockey fan in Western Canada, Western United States, because we're delivering some real good teams and really exciting race down to the wire.
This is an important time as well for the future stars of the National Hockey League, as the Canadian Hockey League and the National Hockey League every year put together what's called the Top Prospects Game. This year it's in Toronto, Ontario at the Air Canada Centre next Wednesday, I believe, and I'm not sure if you're going to be in attendance, but that is a hallmark event that the WHL has been oh so proud of to either host or take part in over the years.
Well, I'm actually heading directly there on to Monday to the Top Prospects Game in Toronto. We have a skills competition on Tuesday, and then the game itself on Wednesday, and as a result it showcases the top 40 players in the Canadian Hockey League who are eligible for this year's NHL entry draft. And it'll be, again, another great showcase event for our product in the Canadian Hockey League, and one that I know the NHL scouts will be watching very closely.
Toronto, Ontario, of course, is the venue for this year's Memorial Cup tournament. Brandon, Manitoba was the latest city in the Western Hockey League family to play host to the event, and that event really comes up on everybody's schedule right out of nowhere because the playoffs come up on us so quick, and then all of a sudden we're getting ready for a magical week in the month of May. No matter who comes out of this league as the Ed Chenault Cup winners, they are going to be a formidable opponent to play whoever they face from the Ontario Hockey League or the Quebec Major Junior League.
Well, that's right. Of course, we have great respect for the representatives from Ontario, and Quebec. Mississauga is going to have an outstanding team as a host team this year, and we know one thing, that our team is going to be very strong coming out of the West. When you look at the teams going down the stretch here, we've got some outstanding teams, and it's going to be real interesting playoffs and determine who will represent the West in Mississauga this year at the Memorial Cup.
Ron, we appreciate your time here in our first intermission break. Enjoy the rest of the events here in Spokane for the Rockstar Outdoor Classic, and safe travels to Toronto this week when you go to take part in the CHL Top Prospects.
Thanks very much, Troy.
Ron Robison is the longtime commissioner of the Western Hockey League, joining us here at Avista Stadium. Through 20 minutes, the Spokane Chiefs lead the Kootenay Ice by a score of 4-1. We'll take a break, come back with more. You're watching the Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic in Spokane, Washington. More than 7,000 fans have come out to Avista Stadium here in Spokane, Washington, and they've been treated to some excitement in the first 20 minutes with the hometown Spokane Chiefs leading the Kootenay Ice 4-1 after 20 minutes of play here at the Rockstar Outdoor Classic. Joey Kenward back here down in the baseball diamond. I'm joined now by the owner of the Spokane Chiefs, also the owner of the Spokane Indians baseball team. It's Bobby Brett. And Bobby, could you have written a better script, at least for one period of hockey here today?
Well, I mean, Kootenay, as we know, is a heck of a hockey club. They spanked us last night. And, you know, getting a goal early. I mean, the fans are into it. There was a couple of fights early, and 4-1 lead for the good guys right now. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Talk about all of the preparations that went behind the scenes to get this event. And you might not have enough time to talk about it all, but there are a lot of people that deserve a ton of credit that probably aren't getting it.
Yeah, our chief staff and the Spokane Indians baseball staff, which we own that team also, but also the cooperation we had from the county and our city fathers. But it was interesting. I did never realize the logistics of putting an outdoor rink in. They've been here for 2 weeks. The lights have been on. They've been working day and night. You always run into problems. But whether it's a power issue or this, they overcame everything. Willie BTAC Productions, who put it on, fabulous job. And, you know, it's like, I look at this as a once-in-a-lifetime event. And it's like a Super Bowl. People go, they want to have fun. I don't think there's an empty seat in the place. Everybody's having fun, and the home team's winning.
Bobby, you're also having a chance for young fans of WHL hockey, of Chiefs hockey, to recognize some very familiar names to older hockey fans in this community. Talk about the importance of recognizing some former hockey stars of this community that went on to great things, many of which never were seen by people here today.
This community, when we bought the hockey team in 1990, I was always a big sports fan, but the history of the Spokane Comets, Flyers, and Jets won some Allen Cup championships, and your fans in Canada, I know, are very, very familiar with the Allen Cup. But they set the tone for hockey in this community. Junior got off to a rough start in the mid-'80s, and I believe it left once. It came back again, and I think we bought it at the perfect time, that people knew that the senior amateurs weren't coming back. And our first year we owned it, we happened to have a couple of guys named Trevor Kidd, Pat Falloon, and Ray Whitney, who's still playing. And kind of, I don't want to say turned it around, but we got junior hockey going. It's been a wonderful 20-year ride.
You won a Memorial Cup with that trio, leading the Chiefs to the Canadian Hockey League Championship. The organization also claimed the Memorial Cup title in 2008. You got a great team put together there, and a lot of people watching this team lately, Bobby, especially when they've won 7 of their last 8, think that this team has what it takes this year to make another long playoff run. Does the owner of the team agree?
Well, what's interesting is a lot of people thought this was a rebuilding year going into the year, but when you have Jared Cowan, Tyler Johnson, Levko Koper, and our goalie, overage James Reed, that's a pretty good core. And Don Nockbar has done a fabulous job of taking some guys that maybe their fans didn't know were good players, but we have the chemistry. We can roll 4 lines. Our scratches are very good players. And I think the one thing about this team, you know, we have a core that's had a taste of that Memorial Cup with a young team. We won it with a young team, and you know, you take it one day at a time, but this team is special. And Jeff Chanel's put together a heck of a team too here. But our team, you know, we got second half of the season to go, but great bunch of guys. Coach has done a great job. They're great kids to be around, and you know, what a great experience for them for the rest of their life out here in this type of atmosphere. Wonderful for everybody.
A few more moments with Bobby Brett, the owner of the Spokane Chiefs Hockey Club, joining us here at Avista Stadium. You mentioned Don Knockbauer. Here is a guy that has a fantastic resume in his back pocket. Why was he the ideal choice to come in and be the head coach this year for your club?
Well, I don't know ideal choice, but we have always believed that this is a development league. We've always went with a development coach. We've always hired the young coach, and hopefully they do well here and move on. Mike Babcock, Billy Peters, and you know, when Tim decided to make a change in our coaching staff, and you look around at the league with ex-NHL coaches in the league, he said, Bobby, now's the time that we need to look to upgrade to a more experienced coach. This has turned into a league with 3 or 4 ex-NHL coaches, so I gave Tim the leeway to talk, and Carlos Sosa's Don, his agent, they have a relationship way back, so luckily we were able to put something together with Don, and you know, he's put his systems in place, and great guy. He's done a heck of a job with his team, but again, and Don had probably the same thing. He hasn't scored any goals, but me as an owner, I have to provide Tim Speltz with the tools, and he made a good hire in Don, and the players are getting it done on the ice. So,
Bobby, I really appreciate you joining us here in our intermission break. It's a special day for you, your family, and hockey fans of the Spokane Chiefs everywhere. Enjoy the rest of it. It's a great success.
I really appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bobby Brett is the longtime owner of the Spokane Chiefs and the Spokane Indians, joining us here for the Rockstar Outdoor Classic. Yeah, not one, but 2 mini Zambonis cleaning the ice here. 4-1 Chiefs leading the Kootenay Ice here in Spokane. Welcome back to Avista Stadium here in Spokane, Washington, as the hometown Chiefs lead the Kootenay Ice by a score of 4-1 after 20 minutes of play. We've got a little bit of a longer intermission break here than what we're used to seeing in the Western Hockey League. That's because we don't just have one Zamboni cleaning the ice, we've got 2, and they are of the miniature variety, but they are doing a fantastic job here to keep the ice as cold and as frosty as possible, because the temperature has dropped a little bit here over the past hour. Remember, we had sunshine in and around the stadium when the puck was dropped, but quickly the sun went behind the clouds. It's getting a little bit chillier here. Whether rain is in the forecast or not, we'll find out. Let's head back up to our broadcast team now of Ian Furness and Kevin Sawyer. Fellas?
Joey, thanks. You need one of those little mini Zambonis for the lake where you live.
Absolutely. I'm going to see if I can get one on the way out of here.
Well, it's 4-1 Spokane after one period of play, and it was an interesting period because there was a lot of scoring and a lot of shots on goal, and yet really in the end, it was one of those kind of periods of hockey where the grinders were the ones that actually won.
Yeah, and that part of it doesn't surprise me. What does it? There were so many goals by the Chiefs early on. It wasn't pretty, but it was plentiful for the Chiefs early on.
Let's take a look at those goals from the first period in Spokane. They jumped on Kootenay early and often in that first period of play and really got things going. And they did so again on the forecheck and really kind of some turnovers as well. And here you go. Here's a look at the series of goals, and they look strikingly similar, Kevin.
All the goals were very similar in the fact that they came from about 5 to 10 feet inside the goal crease, and second chances. Initial pucks went on the net as either deflected in front or it was just on a plain old rebound goal. Here, as you'll see, Brendan Kishton jumps in from the point, and he's about 10 feet out, point blank range.
And it's not your classic so much cycling, it's more just forechecking, dumping in there and grinding away, isn't it?
It is. It's even hard to cycle, if you can believe that. And cycling is a fairly simple thing to do, but they're really just shoveling the puck around and just trying to get it to the net as much as they can.
Well, and Spokane was able to get the 4, and then all of a sudden, Kootenay answered with one. Elgin Pierce got a goal at the end of the first period inside the final minute. That one might be a big goal.
Yeah, Kootenay was not good in that first period for me. The last 5 minutes, they started getting better, and then that goal that they scored, it was much like the Chiefs goals where they're in tight, down low. They won some battles, and they got themselves some momentum ending that first period.
Well, longtime Western Hockey League fans would know my partner, on occasion, was known for dropping the gloves. That was your kind of first period. Not one, not two, but 3 different times the guys dropped the mitts.
Well, and we talked about that in the pregame show. A lot of times they had 8 fights last night. Does not surprise me. Again, they're picking up where they left off. Darren Kramer, this guy right here, first year in the league, he's 19, but he is tough, he's smart, and what makes him so valuable is that he picks the right times to battle for his team.
And Joey was telling us that right after the anthems, guys were talking about wanting to make history. It's the first ever outdoor game. This probably was going to happen early. I don't want to say it was set up as someone was going to go early, but after that, really what ended up happening is it just got into two teams that don't like each other very much going toe-to-toe.
Oh, it's two elite teams for sure, and it's great because both teams have a lot of skill, a lot of size, and they're both actually pretty physical teams as well, as they're showing last night and tonight.
And in the end, one of the things that kind of hurt the Kootenay Ice was probably the fact that their leading scorer ended up going out for about 12 minutes, and that, of course, was Max Reinhardt, and he got nailed for a fight and a misconduct. There you see the scoring summary in that first period. Valcourt, Kewen, Kitchton, and Vancourt, they get the goals for Spokane. One of those was a power play goal. Elgin Pierce comes back and answers for the Kootenay Ice, and maybe, just maybe, that spark that they needed to get things going in the second period of play. And we don't know, we'll have to wait and see, but maybe it just was Kootenay taking some time to figure out the ice. And I wonder, Kevin, if the fact that Spokane practiced here on Thursday, if maybe that gives the Chiefs a little bit of an advantage.
I think that's a great point. For sure it does, because they just get to feel the boards, feel the ice, and feel what it's like to play out here for sure. And be sure about one thing, Kootenay is a good team, without a doubt, and that was not a good period by them. It looked for them to be much better here in the second.
Yeah, I just emphasize that because Spokane did have a chance. They went out here. They had a big media event on Thursday. They got a chance, and I have to wonder, and you know, you've played indoor and you've played outdoor. If even just an hour and a half on the ice gave them a little bit of advantage in the first period, maybe Kootenay can pick things up after now finally maybe playing catch-up against James Reed and the Spokane Chiefs. Let's go back downstairs and check in with Joey.
On here now, the lights have been turned on here now at the ballpark, and what we will want to keep a very close eye on is how that affects the shine off the ice, because that's something that the goaltenders will really need to be careful of, especially with long-range shots and with traffic in front of them. So maybe look for a little bit more glare on this ice surface as it starts to get a little more chilly out here at ice level.
Joey, thank you. I have to be honest, Kevin. I mean, we first sat down up here in the press box. We got here in the baseball press box, which is right behind home plate, high above home plate. We sat down and said, wow, what an incredible view. And then we noticed, because of lighting and glare and everything else, for us even, it was hard to kind of pick out numbers. It was hard to kind of identify. I can imagine on the ice you have even more of those things to deal with.
Yeah, it's a different kind of lighting for sure, and to me, you don't get the contrast that you would inside. A lot of things blend in a lot more. It does make it a lot tougher to identify things out there.
I think the key too here is, you know, teams, us, whomever, nobody's complaining. Everyone's just kind of trying to figure it out. It is the uniqueness of the situation. Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about playing an outdoor game. It's, you know, as Bobby Brett said, it's once in a lifetime, or at least once this year here, once in Calgary later on, is the Chiefs have an opportunity early here in the first or the second period of play, and Tyler Johnson able to hold it in. Kitchton's trying to center it off the back of the net. He comes free, and Cherwonka trying to get it out, unable to do so.
Good battle by Johnson. McNabb down low in the corner.
Jared Cowan back at his own blue line, sends it cross ice. Those are the passes you kind of keep an eye on, because you don't want one to stick on the blue line. Long shot taken by Dirk, but it's handled easily by Reed. Van scored out of his own end. Carries the puck all the way in, let a shot go right on. Lewin with a save, he'll hold on. Then afterwards, Vanscourt took a little shot from Steel Boomer.
Well, you see Vanscourt's strength right there. He's a smooth skating guy who's good with the puck. He's in his first season with the Chiefs, but 2 years ago he played 29 games for the ice. A good all-around player, but definitely an offensive threat from the blue line for the Chiefs.
Saw Nathan Lewin there still between the pipes. No changes made after he gave up the 4 first period goals, and again, it's really hard to blame him. Here's a long shot that goes up high, batted out of the air.
Wow, that may have hit Rintoul in the cheek or something. He took that really high, and that's a tall guy too. That was way above the crossbar.
Well, Rintoul's still out there. Chance now for Morant to Spokane. His shot deflected wide. Montgomery leads the rush for Kootenay. Dumps it in, looking for Antilla in the corner. Chiefs able to once again get it out, and a chance for Blake Gall. Cutting in on goal. Gall still with it. Shoots and a save. Rebound, they score! 5-1 Spokane.
Well, what speed by Blake Gall through the neutral zone, uncharacteristically beating McNabb, who's a good skater, is a big, tall, mobile guy, but Blake Gall keeps his feet moving, driving to the net. I'm not sure if that went in cleanly. He didn't get much mustard on that shot, but nonetheless on the net, and he puts the Chiefs up 5-1.
And literally 30 seconds after we said Lewin's still in there, he is no longer in there, as Brett Teskey will make his way in, the 17-year-old netminder, and one more look at the goal.
Well, Kewen takes a hit to make the play in the neutral zone, and then Morantz gets it up to Gal. Now here, I'm surprised McNabb caught with a bit of a stutter step there, but this is a save that should have definitely been made by Lewin, and but Gal definitely shows his speed, drives wide, and what a great play by Gal.
Puck was laying there, and it might have trickled in with Gal getting it. A chance in front for King, just misses. I think Blake Gall did get the goal. Right there was Morantz just in case, but Lewin comes out, Teskey in, and the Ice trying to get something going, down by 4, 5-1. Hewitt ahead to Morantz. It's got a good line for Spokane tonight.
Well, and that's one key thing here for the Chiefs as well, is their first 4 goals were scored by guys who aren't necessarily known for scoring a whole lot of goals. It's not the Johnsons and Copers and Uhares, it's the Gals, Morantzes, and Valcourts.
Gal's 14th of the year, 2nd of the night, if indeed it's his credit. And Lewin sitting in there with the eye black, kind of saying, what the heck happened? Really hard to blame that young guy. He had a tough go in this hockey game.
Well, and yet you can't blame him for the score. I think that he should have definitely had that last goal against, but his team did not play well in front of him in that first period. And like I say, he's being pulled not necessarily for the result of his effort, but just to shake things up for his team.
Rosignol in the corner. He's pushed off the puck, trying to hold it in is Frazier, and he does. Spokane's Brassard's able to get to it first, and he'll send it length to the ice. We've got an icing call and a whistle with 17:07 to go in the second period. 5-1 Spokane.
Well, what a challenge, as we talked about earlier, for Teskey. Not only is it tough to come into a game halfway through when you're sitting on the bench, but getting cold, sitting on the bench outside, you're going to be even cooler. You know that he's not getting the warm-up that he needs, the stretch that he needs, but being mentally prepared, as I'm sure Teskey is, he'll rise to the challenge, but not an easy thing to do.
Pierce with a shot that got blocked. It bounces right between the circles and bounces away from any harm as far as Spokane is concerned. And Braden McNabb back to pick it up in his own end. Papa gives it right back to Coper, who dumps it in. Spokane is a very good front-running team. I mean that by saying they're 18-1-1 when they lead after one period of play. Not often they have a 3-goal advantage after one either. Now it's 4, 5-1. Elgin Pierce.
See, and it's plays like there. That's a backhand half-speed pass by Pierce, tried out to the point, and it's just an easy pickoff for Levko Coper, who's standing there. Those are the turnovers that Kootenay cannot create in the offensive zone.
Uair dumps it in. Teskey will stop it. The new goaltender will give you his numbers in just a second. Comes in Brett Teskey, the 6-foot, 199-pounder out of Regina. And here's a chance in front. He'll be tested early, but makes the save. It was glove pass anyway, so we get a whistle. Wouldn't have mattered as Holmberg walked in.
Well, nonetheless, there's a difference for me right there in that play. It's a bouncing puck in the neutral zone. Kramer's on the defensive side of the ice defenseman. That would have never been an opportunity going into the offensive zone if it wasn't for the fact that the puck's bouncing.
Let's go downstairs to Joey. Joey.
Thank you very much, guys. Well, the temperature, as I mentioned, getting a little bit more chillier here for myself between the benches and as well for the fans in the building. But really, it could probably drop another 4 or 5 degrees on the Celsius or Fahrenheit meter, and it's probably not going to affect the players that much. They're obviously really warm, they're active, they're sweating, and the temperatures right now I don't think have any impact at all on how this game is being played, at least to this point. Guys?
Edmonton, Montreal, it's not. We don't see the toques, we don't see the face mask covering up or nothing like that. So actually very pleasant temperatures here.
Well, they could be having a soccer game on the backfield at the same time if they wanted. Big hit by Kramer.
Here's a chance in front, and the shot fired wide as Van Dane let it go after that hit by Kramer. A collision. Body's starting to fly. This has been a chippy game. We had 3 fights in the first period. There's been some big hits, and here comes another chance. Morantz down the right wing. Shot, glove save made by Teskey, and he'll hold on.
Good entry. Morantz has had himself a great game with a goal tonight already, but he's also had a lot of scoring chances as well, and they've all come from the wall, and he knows to put that puck to the net. He's got 2 guys driving to the net here in this situation. Puck to the net every single time. Probably a better idea for him, though, there to keep that puck low, to shoot for the rebound as he's got numbers coming in tight.
Teskey making his 13th appearance of the season. He's got a 2.19 goals against average. A save percentage at .892. Getting a chance to play as Lewin pulled after that 5th goal. Long shot from the point, save, and the rebound. Reed able to cover up. That one got all the way through. Reed on his knees made the initial save and then able to cover up the second opportunity.
Well, man, it's a bit of a cluster net front there on all those shots coming from the point. There's just bodies net front, and Reed does a real good job staying low and tracking that puck. I know that the goaltender coach for the Spokane Chiefs, Dennis Sproxon, does countless hours of video work, one-on-one work with the goaltenders here in Spokane, and he really has done a good job developing guys like James Reed, obviously Dustin Tokarski, who won the Memorial Cup with the Chiefs as well.
Jared Cowan, his pass goes off the stick of Johnson, so icing waved off. Teske comes out to sweep it to the corner. Picked up by Reinhart, couldn't get it out. Held in. Centering pass in front, they score! One-timer! Hometown kid bangs it home, 6-1.
Well, you can talk about the ice as a factor for sure. Uncharacteristic here as in the defensive zone. Reinhardt's a good player who makes good hard plays. He's got the puck on the wall down low on his backhand, and he creates a turnover on the half wall, which gives Cooper the opportunity to throw the behind the back no-look pass to Tyler Johnson. But there you see Reinhardt coughs the puck up. Those are the type of turnovers you just cannot have consistently and expect to win hockey games.
December's Player of the Month, the leading goal scorer in the Western Hockey League. Tyler Johnson's 33rd of the year. He has scored a goal now in 5 straight games, has a 9-game streak of points as well.
And on top of that, that's his 10th goal in the last 10 games.
Not the guy you want to leave wide open in the slot. Brassard's shot got blocked. Well, the route is on in Spokane at Avista Stadium. Boy, what a different game this is from last night at Cranbrook.
And what an awful feeling for Kootenay, where you're down early and there's some things you can do to change momentum, getting some fights, which has been done. No momentum. They changed their goalie. That's been done. And still no momentum. It's a helpless feeling when you're losing and nothing's going right for you.
What a thrill that must be, though, for Tyler Johnson. Hometown kid, first outdoor game in his home city, gets a goal. Here's a chance shot and a save made by Teske, and back come the ice the other way, trying to create a 2-on-1 down the right wing. Pierce has a man in front, centering pass is broken up, and it rolls softly to James Reed, who holds on.
Well, good job by Pierce there, showing speed. It's a 2-on-1 under pressure, entering wide. But an even better job by Van Scoort there, sliding to break up that backdoor attempted pass to break up the play.
And the net came off its moorings again as they knocked it off, and so they'll quickly come out there and make a fix and watch the 2-on-1 develop here for the...
Well, good little evasive move in his own defensive zone there to create. It's a 2-on-1 under pressure. Doesn't have much time, but right there, that's where you've got to shoot the puck. He's got a net front presence driving there. It's been a lot of rebounds tonight, as we talked about earlier. Put the puck on net and look for those second and third chances.
Hayden Ridtool was the defenseman who jumped up in the play the other half of the 2-on-1, but he couldn't get to it, so no harm as far as Spokane is concerned, and they are comfortably on top 6-1. Much to the delight of the crowd, many of whom spent a couple hours prior to the game thinking it might have been a football game. They were tailgating out here when we arrived early in the morning.
Some kids had t-shirts on playing road hockey out there. It was quite a sight to see.
Bobby Brett says it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I wonder, as we get a hand pass, I wonder if it's truly once in a lifetime. Knowing Bobby Brett, I have a feeling that maybe down the road we'll see him try to make this happen one more time or a couple more times. Maybe not every year, certainly, but what a great opportunity. As the fans here really had fun today beforehand. They're out there having a good time. They're grilling and partying and tailgating. There's the street hockey you're talking about. I mean, it had a football game type feel with the hockey element.
It really did. It's something I've never seen before, obviously, with a hockey game, but the fans have really embraced this game here in Spokane, and what great fans they are.
Now, at the risk of getting the folks down about 90 minutes south of us upset in the cities, the Tri-Cities, where Spokane's biggest rival lives. Yes, we know Tri-Cities also does do some tailgating. The fans down there do that outside the Toyota Center. This had a different feel, though. It was an outside stadium.
A little bit of a different situation.
Yes. Puck brought ahead now by Mitch Holmberg. Works his way around the defenseman. Holmberg trying to cut in. Penalty upcoming against Kootenay. Loose puck. Net comes off its moorings, but Holmberg got held on that play, and he draws another penalty. And Braden McNabb is going to take a seat. He had Holmberg turning the corner and had no choice but to grab a hold.
Well, I got to wonder how Braden McNabb is feeling here. You see Holmberg coming through the neutral zone with speed. McNabb, that's not typical of him. This is a world-class defenseman who's a big guy but mobile, as I said earlier right there, and he gets caught flat-footed. Typically, he breaks that play up at the blue line entering the zone.
Braden McNabb, a third-round draft pick of the Buffalo Sabres in 09. Yeah, he just got turned inside and out. It's tough. You know, young guys, we talked about in our open, Kevin, and as they fix the net one more time, 3 games in 3 nights for so many of these teams. Yep. Spokane included, the second one. But travel, second night, big win last night. Maybe there was a little letdown for Kootenay. They don't quite look like they have the normal jump. Let's head downstairs and check in with Joey.
Level. Fellas, just having a quick chat down here at ice level with the officials. The ice is fine. Where they're having the most problems, though, is around the goalposts. And that's a couple of times now in back-to-back stoppages where the ice crews actually had to come on with the drill to help make the moorings a little bit easier to keep that net onto the ice. So just another little thing we're keeping a close watch on while you guys follow the puck.
Well, and the good news that Joey said is the ice is good. That's you can fix the goal anytime you need to. As long as the ice is fine, that's the most important thing. 6-1, Spokane with the lead. Tyler Johnson will face off with Matt Frazier, and puck gets by Cowan, back to his own blue line he goes.
Well, it's tough enough that the Kootenay's down 6-1 and killing a penalty here midway through the second, but having one of your best penalty killers in your captain, Braden McNabb, sitting in the box definitely gives an advantage to Spokane on the power play as well.
Cowan brought it down the wall and got it to Koper, and Kitchen now has it at the line. Johnson. Koper, Uer's in front, looking for him, off a skate, goes wide.
Good job by Cowan activating from the point, and Kootenay's going to find themselves down here on a 5-on-3. To me, it's a bit of a weak call, but Cowan activated and he took a slash after he drove to the net.
Extra attacker is on now, and now the puck is touched up by Hayden Ridtool, and we'll get the second penalty, and boy, if things couldn't get worse for Kootenay. Another penalty upcoming here.
Well, these referees do a great job in the Western Hockey League officiating, and no knock against the rest, but to me, a team's down 6-1. They're already killing a penalty, and this is kind of a non-call for me. It's a little bit of a slash behind the play. It didn't take away a scoring chop opportunity or anything. To me, if you put a team down 5-on-3, it has to be some kind of a scoring chance or an exceptionally bad penalty to call that.
Matt Frazier has been red hot lately with 7 points in the last 2 games. He takes a seat, so 5-on-3. Spokane. Kitchen down low in front. Oh, just firing it wide was Johnson. He won't miss that too often.
Well, what a great pass by you here to thread the needle there across crease.
Cowan at the line. Waits. Johnson trying to get in front. One too many passes there. Picked away, but Johnson still has possession in front. Kitchen in front. Yeah. Oh, they score! What a play! Tic-tac-toe!
You had a feeling that was coming. For the first time tonight, we got an opportunity to see how good that ice really is. With all that ice on there, 5-on-3, the Chiefs were snapping the puck, executing with their passes, and Dominic Ewer is on the back door to put the Chiefs up now 7-1. But you can see the puck movement here. There's all sorts of lanes wide open.
Yeah, what a play. Yeah. Kitchen to Ewer. Right in front, and Teskey had no chance whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
7-1 Spokane.
Well, Dominic Ewer last night had a goal and an assist in Kootenay. And now here again, he's got a goal tonight. And this guy has definitely been on fire. He's got 19 points, make that 22 points, pardon me, in his last 3 games.
7 goals for the highest scoring team in the Western Hockey League. They're still working on a power play as well, and here they come.
Pardon me, that was 12 games with Ewer.
Dahl plays it back to the blue line. Fans court. 2-man game. Dow waits, dropped it off. Bardero in front, shot, score! 8-1. Fans court got it.
Wow. What to do if you're Kootenay right now? Timeout is gone. And Spokane is just coming at them in waves right now as Vanscourt activates from the point and again finds himself wide open here as the Chiefs move the puck really well again here on a 5-on-4, but backdoor right there. So hard for a goalie to go east-west like that and come up with a save.
Well, Vanscourt going upstairs, and The only way to go east-west is go down low, but they bang it in to the delight of 7,000 plus. And sold out Avista Stadium at the Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic. It is a rout, 8-1. The Chiefs are running away with this hockey game. 12 times this year, Spokane has scored 5 or more goals. They have hit double digits 3 times. They're 2 away from making it 4.
And some of the questions that the Spokane Chiefs had to face early on in the season is who's going to score for this team? I mean, yes, they do have guys like Cooper and obviously Johnson, who's a big-time scorer, but after that, really not a whole lot of marquee offensive players, and yet they're the leading goal-scoring team in the league, and that to me even surprised me a little bit, but it's because they play and they score by committee. They've got 9 guys on their roster, that have 20 points or more.
Holmberg trying to cut in. Rosignol takes the puck away. Play to the corner. Kramer knocked down by Martin, and Kootenay works it ahead. Hurley bumped at center ice by Vanscourt.
Well, good job by Vanscourt to activate up in the neutral zone, really taking away time and space with a small gap.
Well, back behind the play, Vanscourt was having some words with Isman. Nothing came of that as the play came right by him. They have to hold off for a second. Rosignol plays it down to the corner. Wintool's shot bounces harmlessly to the corner. Now the puck is lofted back to center ice. Wintool picks it up there. Up to right back into Hurley. Stops the line. Vanscourt sends it length to the ice. We'll get an icing call. With 9:58 to go and Vanscourt having some words at center ice.
Yep.
They'll quickly be separated, so we won't have our 4th scrap of the night.
And smart by Vanscourt really to do nothing there. I mean, there's nothing to gain for the Chiefs to gain momentum anyway.
All right, 8-1. Spokane in a rout in the first ever outdoor game. The hometown fans are enjoying everything they're seeing. What a great atmosphere, great spectacle. Unless you're from Kootenay. Thought perhaps with Kootenay scoring in the final minute of the first period that maybe, just maybe, that would be the spark that would get them going, and that has not proven to be the case.
Well, I've seen games like this where they're just out what they seem to be out of reach. I was involved in the game. We were down 7-0 to Kamloops, if you can believe that, after the first period. We actually came back to win the game 8-7 in regulation. So a lot of times it's tough to stay focused as a team. If you're up 8-1 as the Chiefs are, they really have to maintain their focus and don't change a thing.
Down the right wing comes Cooper. Centering pass, and boy, Cowan jumping up into the play. The big defenseman trying to get involved offensively, but had it taken away.
Not the first time tonight that you've seen the Chiefs defensemen jumping in. Obviously on the power play they've been activating, but a lot to the neutral zone as well. They're very active tonight.
Should mention too, we had matching minors to Vanscourt and Isman right at the TV timeout, so it's 4-a-side hockey right now. Long shot, Reed steers that one aside. Now the shot is blocked, and here's an opportunity for Kewen. Might have a breakaway and does. Kewen in on goal, backhander, score! Kewen got it!
Well, again, this goal starts in the offensive zone for the Kootenay Ice. Hayden Rintoul has the puck. He's a little bit off balance and tries to spin around and get it down low, but that's where you got to bear down hard on the puck, chip it off the wall, and put it down low for your forwards. He didn't get that done. Steve Kewen was in the lane and popped it free under pressure, mind you. Kept his feet moving and was able to slide it by Teskey for their 9th.
Well, Kewen just walked in, and Teskey tried to squeeze the pads. That's never a good sign when the goaltender looks over his shoulder, as Teskey did there, and another stoppage as they fix the net behind him. But the route is on. We mentioned Spokane already 3 times this season. They've hit double digits, which is almost unheard of in these days of hockey. This league used to be the norm, not anymore. They're 1 away from hitting that 10 mark again.
Well, and especially against a team like the Kootenay Ice, where they have 115 goals against. They're 3rd best in the team in that regard. Very surprising to see this many goals against.
Kewen unassisted the goal. 9th of the night for Spokane. The odd thing is here at the baseball stadium, we look across, we see the Avista Stadium scoreboard, and it has a line score up there. 4-1 Spokane after the first inning, 5-0 Spokane here in the bottom of the second. Don't see that all that often. There's a chance in front and the chance for McNabb, but the save made, and the net again knocked off the moorings. Take a look at the scoreboard here at Avista Stadium. There you go. No, the Spokane Indians are not in town.
That is not a glitch.
1-4, nothing in the top half of the second for Kootenay, 5 in the bottom half for Spokane to give them that 9-1 lead. It's a tough night for the visitors from Kootenay. What do you mentioned coming back from behind against a team Kamloops years ago. That might have been possible. This looks not to be possible. Ice conditions and everything, it's 9-1.
Yeah.
Chris Knobloch said, we just got to keep playing our game. That's easier said than done.
It definitely is. It's going to take nothing short of a miracle here for Kootenay to find themselves back in this game. And yes, never doubt that, though. Stranger things have happened, but you're right about that, Ian. With the ice conditions the way they are, it's hard to execute on plays at the net. The only chance that Kootenay has is they just start throwing pucks at the net with numbers, but they're losing too many battles for them to even have that opportunity.
Well, and the thing too, as I watch this game, is you wonder if can they still be physical. That's what Knobloch kind of seemed to say. We still want to be physical, play hard. At what point does that kind of get sucked out of you as well? As you know, 3 scraps in the first period, but now you're down by 8. Long shot, save in front by Teske. Boy, another opportunity one more time. Uer dished it off.
Well, you can see Kootenay's defense, they're standing flat-footed. They're given way too much time and space net front right there. It's not the goaltender's fault for the Kootenay Ice. Their D-men are not on the top of their game tonight.
Here's a shot deflected wide from the blue line. Van Daan let her rip. Cowan steps in. His long shot went wide. Historic afternoon in Spokane, and as if it was Bobby Brett and Tim Spelt scripting it out, their team on top big, 9-1. Not what Jeff Chenalf and the Kootenay Ice had hoped for.
And good for the Spokane Chiefs as well. I mean, you never want to see anybody get embarrassed. It is an embarrassing score, but they haven't changed their game plan. It'd be easy for them to do that. They haven't. They're still skating hard, still putting the pucks in the net as they created another offensive chance there. They're still doing all those little things that got them to this score in the first place.
Brassard in front, couldn't get to it. Chipped along the boards by Elgin Pierce, didn't get it out. And it's clear, but still not out. One more opportunity, and finally, Steel Boomer able to clear the zone. Pierce down the right wing, ties his man up. Stepping in is Isman, but he couldn't get through, and it's dumped back in. Cowan leads the rush. Bardero dropped it off. Cowan walks in, shoots and scores! Jared Cowan, double digits, 10-1.
Well, again, on this replay here, you're going to see the entry by the Spokane Chiefs. They enter the puck wide like they've been doing all night long with speed. And what that's doing is it's backing off the defense of the Kootenay Ice probably a little bit too much. And again, we talked earlier about the defense of the Spokane Chiefs activating Jared Cowans on his horse. Following the play up, receives a great shot. Beats Teske. I think he may have beat him 5-0. On the entry here, you can see entering with speed. And they 2-on-1 the pass, which left Jared Cowan wide open as well to activate and get that big bomb shot off.
Beautiful drop by Bardero as well. And well, you don't want to leave a guy with an NHL slap shot, a first-round NHL draft pick, wide open with empty space at the top of the circle, and that's what they did. Cowan ripped it. Teske probably wants it back. 5-hole nevertheless. That's an NHL shot that beat him.
Welcome back to the Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic here in the Western Hockey League. Spokane, Washington, the venue. The hometown Chiefs leading the Kootenay Ice 10-1 after 2 periods of play. I'm your host, Joey Ken. We're joined here by the Vice President of the Western Hockey League, Richard Dirksen, who's taking this game in from the penalty box. I know you're keeping a real close eye on the ice conditions here at the ballpark. How have they been looking through 2 complete periods?
Well, the second period was obviously much better than the first period. I don't think anybody envisioned that we were going to be 50 degrees at game time, so we had some water on the ice in the first period. Second period, it cooled down once the sun went behind the clouds, and it was a real good period ice-wise in the second.
Yeah, and the temperature has dropped a little bit here, which probably is a good thing for the players and as well the puck, because when you've got a lot of excess water out there, it can really slow the game down and make things actually a bit dangerous for those on the ice.
Absolutely, and we went to changing pucks every 2 minutes in the first period. Second period, of course, we didn't have to do quite that much, and we're envisioning they're just going over it now, but we think the third period will be fine. The temperature is really good for outdoor hockey.
All right, Richard, we appreciate you joining us here to give us a quick update on the ice conditions. Enjoy the third period and the rest of the experience here in Spokane.
Thank you.
Richard Dirksen, who is the Vice President of the Western Hockey League, joining us here. We're going to let Richard step aside, and Tim Speltz, who's the General Manager of the Spokane Chiefs, has been nice enough to join us down here at Avista Stadium. you couldn't have written a better script in Hollywood, could you, for your organization and your fans through 2 periods?
Well, it's been unbelievable. And I mean, our staff has done a great job right from day one, from the time that we said that we were interested in this undertaking. We had the support of ownership and our staff, led by Mark Miles and Dave Peer, Randy Swagler. I mean, they did an incredible job of knowing what had to be done and getting it done. In the meantime, let's not forget, we got 35 other home games that we have to have, and we've got a lot of other events that we put on throughout the year. So this is a part of it, but it's come across very well. We've had, Rockstar coming on board has been unbelievable for us, and then the support that we've had from our fans, the understanding from our season ticket holders. We took a game out of the package. There's a lot of things that had to come together, and then our players. I mean, I think the fact that we had a chance to practice on Thursday, had that excitement, that enthusiasm. Our guys were maybe more prepared than Kootenay today, and the score shows that. But our players have done their part too to entertain the crowd.
No matter what the score looks like right now, and it is a dominating scoreboard in your favor, how impressed are you with the bounce back effort that your team has today compared to what you had one night ago in Cranbrook, where, let's face it, the Ice were the better team through 60 minutes in front of their own fans?
No, we got spanked last night, and we didn't start well in any of the periods. We started to get it back a little bit, I thought, at the end of the first. The second, they put 2 quick ones on us again. Now we're battling back from 4-1. The third, they put 2 more up, and it's, that was tough for our guys. We've been on a roll. Things have went well for us. We haven't allowed goals at all, let alone 6, 3 on the power play. So, our guys, I think, did a great job, and they're led by Don Nackbauer and John Clem. They're great coaches. They do a good job. They're doing a great job with this group.
Tim Speltz is the general manager of the Spokane Chiefs, joining us for a few more moments here in the infield at Avista Stadium. Your club had been on a real roll prior to the WHL trading deadline. You've been on a real roll through it and even into this weekend. Was there at all a thought for you, as the man pulling the trigger on deals over the years for this club, to add an extra piece to the puzzle for possibly a long and successful postseason run?
Well, there was. We tried to get better, quite frankly, and we wanted to do it with the future, assets and maybe younger players that weren't on our team. Because one of the things that we really felt, and this was, Don was a big part of the trade deadline for us, was we felt we had great chemistry. The guys really bought into what the coaching staff wanted, but as importantly, we had great depth. But now all of a sudden, if we make a 3-for-2 or a 2-for-1 trade, it changes that drastically. So we didn't want to change from that. We tried with assets, but I think with the big deals with Kootenay and Saskatoon, they gave up the assets. The other teams that we were interested in talking to, quite frankly, I think they recognized our success and they wanted some of our players, and we weren't prepared to give those guys up.
It has been a while since the WHL's U.S. division has been this top-heavy as far as good, legitimate Ed Chanel Cup championship contenders. How exciting is it to be a part of when the likes of the Chiefs and your arch rivals from Tri-City and Portland are going neck and neck and right down to the wire, it seems, come playoff time?
Well, and for us, it doesn't matter. Seattle and Everett throw those guys in there too. They've had some injuries and maybe things haven't gone as well, but we look at our division and it's no different in 2008 when we won the Memorial Cup. Part of the reason was because of the strength of the U.S. division and the games we had every night, and you either get better or you go away. And that's as simple as it is, and it's no different this year. I think all the U.S. clubs, and you see we play each other so often, 4-4 and 6-6 and 5-5, so there's so many games against us that we have to get better. And you see the BC teams a lot less, so you're not just as aware of how strong they are. There's good clubs up there too, there's no question, but I know every night when we hammer it out with these guys and the teams we have to play, we get better.
Tim, do you see a lot of similarities at the point in this season as to what you saw in your club in 2008, one that went on to win the league title and eventually just really dominate things at the Memorial Cup out in Ontario?
Well, the similarities are that, they're good teams. We've got a good home record. We've played well. We're very well coached this year. That's a similarity. We've got, our guys have bought in. But, there's still so much hockey left. We've got over 30 games left, and that's going to dictate what team improves the most, what team gets better. That's going to make a difference. But to this point, our record is very similar, and some of the successes are similar in that we play a very good, in my opinion, team game.
Well, it's been a total team effort today on the scoreboard. It's been a total team effort on the schedule. Good luck keeping it going the same direction for you and the Chiefs towards playoff time.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it.
Tim Speltz is the longtime general manager of the Spokane Chiefs, joining us here at Avista Stadium. His club up 10-1 on the Kootenay Ice after 40 minutes of play. We'll take a break, come back with more. You're watching the Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic here in Spokane, Washington. Of the Rockstar Outdoor Classic, Spokane Chiefs leading the Kootenay Ice 10-1 through 2 periods of play. Joey Kenward back down here at field level. It's my pleasure to be joined by the general manager and president of the Kootenay Ice Hockey Club, Jeff Chanel. I really don't want to talk about this game. I know you don't either, but how frustrating has it been to watch this game on what I know you were so excited, and your whole organization and your fans were excited to be a part of here this weekend?
Well, we're embarrassed. There's no question about it. And if you would have watched the game last night, I thought we played hard. I thought both teams played hard, and I was looking forward to today and being part of history. But right now, it's not very much fun to watch. I wish we had straight time periods, but hopefully we can win the 20 minutes and get ready for Tuesday night when we play Edmonton at home.
Your dad was a longtime commissioner and president of this league, and made this league really into what it is today. Did you ever think that you'd see a game in this league played outdoors? And this is not the only one this year. There will be one coming up next month in Calgary between the Hitmen and Regina Pats. I'm sure he's got to be smiling wherever he's watching this one.
No question about it. I mean, but you never put anything past Bobby Brett and the Spokane Chiefs. Everything they do is first class. They are a first-rate organization from top to bottom, and have been great to work with throughout this whole process. And other than the score, we've been honored to be part of this whole thing. And you just see the way major junior hockey has evolved, and you can see it coming. And you see this crowd here today, and they're electric and having a great time. And I know he would be proud watching this.
Jeff, your club in the Central Division in a real dogfight. We just spoke with Tim Speltz of the Chiefs, how tough things are in the U.S. Division. Same goes for the Ice in the Central and in the Eastern Conference. How excited are you to be watching every game, not just with your team, but the rest of the division and the conference right down to the playoff push?
Well, I'm a fan first and foremost, and there's the parity in our league gets tighter every year, it seems. The coaching is so good, the players are better. There's not a lot separating top from bottom, and I don't think there's a weak link in either conference, and it'll be a good, exciting final 29 games.
Your hockey club made a big splash at the WHL's trading deadline, as the day before deadline day you mortgaged a lot of your future to get arguably the premier player available from any team that was looking to unload, and that is Cody Eakin, acquired from the Swift Current Broncos. He has yet to play for the Kootenay Ice. Maybe just a thought or two on what he can bring to your room and to the ice as a player and as a person.
Well, first and foremost, he's a game breaker, and in today's hockey, there's very few game breakers. And when we were sitting down at the start of the year, we had kind of identified 3 or 4 players were kind of like that, and Cody Eakin was at the top of the list. And everything came together with Swift Current at the last moment when they decided that they were going to move him and try to restock their cupboard, so to speak. And we were excited to have him. He's a great kid. My brother had the pleasure of coaching him and drafting him in Swift Current a few years ago. Speaks very highly of him, and we're excited to get him back in our lineup. If all goes as well, he should be in the lineup next Friday night when we're back in Spokane. And I just think he's a difference maker, and not that one man makes that big a difference, but he can play in all situations. And we really like our team. Most nights I should say, we battle hard. We work for 60 minutes, and the one area where we're lacking a little bit on our power play and a little bit on our 5-on-5 scoring, and we think he's definitely going to help that. He's excited to be here. He wants a long playoff run. That's always a big thing. He's best friends with James Martin, which really helps, and time will tell. I mean, it's a chance we had to make, and we're happy we got him. And like I said, I'd rather have him on my team than another team in the Eastern Conference.
Final word about Cody Eakin. He's played more junior hockey than any other player in North America, it seems, over the past calendar year. He played every game for the Swift Current Broncos last year, playoffs. Then he went and played for Hershey, helped that team win a Calder Cup in the American League, played at the World Juniors. He's played this season. He's now sitting out a little bit. Could that be a bit of a blessing in disguise for your group, trying to make that good push in the playoffs?
No question. I mean, you don't win championships on January 15th, and it's a long year, and we're hoping for a long run. And I know Cody wanted to play today. That's the competitor in him. But from our end, I mean, we want him to be 100%. He has that hand injury that he played the World Junior with. We don't want to put him out there where he could get hurt. And, if he's not ready next weekend, he'll play the next week. I mean, there's a lot of hockey left, and, we just think that when we get him back and we start gelling, it's going to be a pretty special group.
Jeff, really appreciate you joining us here. I know under difficult circumstances. Good luck after this one as you and your team make a real strong push to go after an Eastern Conference crown and a long run in the playoffs.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Jeff Chanel is the general manager and president of the Kootenay Ice Hockey Club, joining us here. 30 minutes. Third period action just around the corner. This is the Rockstar Outdoor WHL Classic in Spokane, Washington.
Well, it's turned out to be a pretty good day for hockey here at Avista Stadium in Spokane, the first ever outdoor game in the Western Hockey League. It's been a pretty good game, at least if you're a Spokane Chief player, management, fan. If you're from the Kootenay Ice, obviously that's not the case. Welcome back. Ian Furness, Kevin Sawyer with you. Really kind of an amazing turn of events. Last night, Kootenay beat up on the Spokane Chiefs, and today it's a totally different story. 10-1 after 40 minutes.
And you heard Max Reinhardt after the second period talk about it. Maybe their team was a little bit too wound up, but I can tell you this is not how they normally play. They have not been good here tonight.
Yeah, you hear the words of Jeff Chanelf a moment ago. I thought it was interesting, Reinhardt saying, hey, we want to send a message in the third period. That could mean a lot of different things. Bottom line, they need to come out and just, as they said, win that third period.
And I think the message that he wants to send for sure is to get back to the way they normally play and get some momentum through their game plan.
Well, they certainly had no momentum in the second period because it was all Spokane. Chiefs just put on a clinic, scoring at will 6 different times. And you mentioned it almost was like pond hockey in a sense, was it not? I mean, they just were out there. They made it look easy in this second period.
And we talked about all the 4 goals in the first period, how they were all ugly, mucky goals, in tight off second and third rebound chances. Well, this period, these were all highlight goals. 2 and 3 consecutive passes they've executed on, and a lot of times finding guys like they did here with Vanscourt in the back door with an open 4x6. A lot of breakaways as well, as we see here Steve Kewen going in on the backhand.
Got a couple guys working on potential hat tricks for Spokane, Kewen and Vanscourt. And it just was one of those days, has been one of those days, and as Jeff Chanelf said, it'd be nice if they had the running clock when it was all said and done, but that's not the case. There you see the second period goal scoring summary. Gall, Johnson, Uhar, Vanscourt, Kewen, and Jared Cowan with just a rocket from the top of the right circle. And it has been a day to build up the statistics as well. A couple power play goals mixed in. They've had 3, have the Chiefs so far today. Their power play is 4th in the league. It's been clicking. Again, the tale of 2 different games. Yesterday, it was all about Nathan Lewin and Edmonton, the Kootenay Ice. They were able to come up with 3 power play goals of their own. Today, not so much.
Well, and what's interesting to me, too, is much like the regular season for the Spokane Chiefs, they're scoring by committee. So 10 goals scored by 8 different players. I mentioned earlier how 10 different players on the team have at least 20 points or more. So they're really spreading that offense out like they've been doing all season long.
And interesting, Spokane is going to make a goaltending change. As you see James Reed in a fantastic toque coming out there for the third period. Reed will get the third period off in a 10-1 hockey game, and that means that Mac Engel will go in there, the Red Deer product, 17 years old, played in Red Deer last year in the AMHL, so he has an opportunity to get some playing time. And I got to give Don Ackbauer a lot of credit, too, because you know what, let as many guys play. You're a backup goalie, you're up 10-1. Unfortunately for Kootenay, both their goalies already have played, not necessarily by choice. But here Engel gets a chance to go in there and play the final 20 minutes.
And for more than one reason as well, like you mentioned, Ian, throw him a bone a little bit. Hasn't seen a whole lot of action this year. Nice to get out for 1 period in the Outdoor Classic as well, preventing injury to your starting goaltender. There's not much to gain here if everything goes the way it should. Looks like the Chief could have 2 points tonight. So smart move on a couple different levels for Don Ackbauer.
And we'll keep an eye on how things go as well, since, as we heard with Joey, Max Reinhardt saying, hey, we got to send a message in the third period. That could mean a variety of things.
Yep.
See if they want to come out and get a little more physical. They've already lost, by the way, Matt Fraser. He received a game misconduct for instigating that fight earlier, so he's done. They're already down 1 player, and we haven't really talked about it. They mentioned with Jeff Chanelf, Cody Eakin has yet to play for Edmonton after being acquired in a trade deadline deal. Guy that's had 39 points in 30 games this year. He will be a difference maker when he gets in the lineup, and Engel is tested right off the get-go.
Well, good job. Good start by the Kootenay Ice right there. Entered the zone with speed. Made a couple good little passes and end up with a scoring chance early here on Engel early in the third period.
Kevin King, the 20-year-old, had a chance right there on the doorstep, and Engel had to be alert to make the save. Good start by Kootenay. Good opportunity. Face-off coming up to the right of Engel. We'll give you his numbers in just a second. Drop of the puck, and it's picked up by Dominic Uhar. Uhar hits the line, 2-on-2. A hard hit on the play from James Martin.
Real good defensive play by Martin. Good gap coming into the zone. Dominic Uhar was coming with speed. Martin makes a good defensive play and stops him before the top of the circle.
Oftentimes they say in hockey, just win the period, especially if maybe a game's out of hand. We'll see if Kootenay can win the period as Reinhardt picks it up.
And what they have to do is they have to set really a realistic goal that they have a chance of attaining to get through this hockey game. And to me, that's it. Win the period.
Here's a chance in front again. Puck fired just wide. Opportunity right on the doorstep as Reinhardt cut in.
Well, Engel's been tested a couple times with some of the, probably two of the best opportunities for Kootenay to score in the game.
And icing call is made. Let's head downstairs and check in with Joey.
All right, fellas, I'm about 8 to 10 rows up here in the stadium with Dan Valcourt. Now, Dan's son, playing in the game tonight, scored the first goal of the Outdoor Classic. How impressed were you to see Colin get the first goal in an outdoor WHL game?
Well, it's obviously fantastic as a parent. This is what you've done since the boy was 5 years old. I was hoping he'd have a big moment like this. And to have the first goal in a historical game like this, you have to be quite proud as a parent and quite proud of your son. But it all comes from the team and the coaching staff that got the puck down there that made that happen.
Your hockey family comes from Red Deer, Alberta. I know you got a chance to come and watch a few games, but how excited were you when you had a chance to come see your son play an outdoor game here on a WHL schedule?
Well, anytime your son can get in a lineup on a team as strong as this is really exciting anyhow. Every shift that they get, you're excited the whole time. And to come down here and travel this far, and to have a game like this is absolutely worth it. And it's the way that this game has been organized and put for the fans is just absolutely fantastic.
Dan, appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the festivities here with you and your family.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Back to you guys upstairs.
Thanks a lot, Joey. And you saw Joe Antilla score his 13th of the year to make it a 10-2 game. Kootenay gets on the board here in the third period of play. Brassert with a shot, and he fired that one high and wide. On the doorstep, a couple more pokes at it. Brassert there is bumped on the play as Dirk was hammering away. We'll take a look at the goal one more time. And Joe Antilla getting Kootenay on the scoreboard. Came right off the face-off. Just walked right in.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit stronger on the wall defensively for the Spokane Chiefs. Maybe they're letting their guard down here a little bit uncharacteristic for Vanskort to lose his man like that. Antella's on his toes right there off the face-off and jumps to an open puck. And gets a much-needed goal for Kootenay to feel good about something here early in the third.
And as we say that, they'll ice the puck and comes down to the other end. I will say this, I think you get a pretty good feel by watching on television right now with the sun very much hidden as we approach 3:45, just a little past 3:45 in the afternoon here in Spokane. Sun starting to go down, cloud cover in, the lights of the stadium in full effect. Very cool atmosphere here. Back to the line, Cowan lost the puck, that's uncharacteristic, and King chases it down for Kootenay. Tried to center it in front, Hanaman cruising in front there, but unable to find Boomer. Here's a chance in front again, but couldn't get the shot away.
Well, Kootenay right now, they're jumping on loose pucks, and they're first to pucks in the offensive zone, winning some battles of their own here in the third period, something they haven't done in the first two periods, but creating some offense just through winning some battles.
Going to make Chris Knobloch feel pretty good as his team has certainly come out strong in the third period despite being down by 9 goals after 40 minutes.
Good decision by Isman Ian there. He had a wide open player in the slot, and he looked, you can tell, and he balked at that decision to throw the puck on the net. Probably something that they've decided after the second period is put every puck to the net you can.
Puck came in front. Isman couldn't quite get a stick on it this time. Held in, though, at the blue line by Martin. Martin threw a shot at the front. Blocked on that play by Vanskort, and back comes Spokane 3-on-2. Down the right wing. Holmberg shot right on, and the save made. And at his knees, Brett Teskey holds on.
Well, it amazes me how the Chiefs are so consistent, well coached. It's a sign of a team that's well coached. Almost every single entry they have in the offensive zone, textbook puck enters wide with speed, middle drive, and you got a high slot presence. Puck gets to the net with traffic in front. So Chiefs are doing a really good job consistently throughout the night on the entries.
Ron Nakdar's finally taken the shades off today, it looks like. Sun's gone down, lights are in effect. Wonder how that eye black works for the players today. You ever wear eye black in the game?
Never got the opportunity, but how cool does that look?
Puck comes to the blue line and out. Cowan couldn't quite hold it in. And we get an icing call made. We have been handed our attendance at Avista Stadium. First ever outdoor game in the Western Hockey League. 7,075. 7,075. They are packed into the building tonight. And the thing we noticed, Kevin, we walked in, we mentioned this earlier, 7,000 fans here, and they were out there having a good time. They were tailgating. They got here early, by and large. Some of them waited till the last minute to come in because the tailgates were that good.
Yeah.
Can't blame them. Just a terrific atmosphere. They just did it right on every level.
They didn't leave unturned, so to speak. They thought of everything from the fireworks to the cannons to the flyby and the opening ceremonies. The Chiefs have done a great job here presenting this outdoor classic.
Winchell looks like he's a little bit shaken up, or actually McNabb back behind the play, playing without a stick. It is, and here's a chance for Spokane again in front, and the net came off its moorings. And yeah, that's McNabb shaken up.
Yeah.
Lost his stick and hung in there, tried to stay in the play without it on the 2-on-1 opportunity. And we'll get the net fixed here. That'll take a couple minutes. The captain for the Kootenay Ice shaken up and heading to the bench. That's the worst possible scenario for either team right now. You mentioned one of the reasons you take out your starting goaltender, James Reed, for Spokane. You want to make sure he's okay. But you don't want to see a player the caliber of McNabb hurt either. But hopefully he'll be okay as he heads to the bench. Face-off coming up to the left of Teskey. Down the right wing. Antilla scored the goal here in the period, brought it in, dropped it off Rosignol. Played to the corner, Gall has it. He'll send it deep, bouncing puck, hustling after it is Morantz. Icing is waved off. Montgomery will play it behind his own net. Gall hustling in. Martin with a check. Trying to bump Hewitt off the play, and again it's cleared. Center ice, Vans court. Corbin Baldwin has it. He'll dish it ahead, and here come the Chiefs out of their own end. Tyler Vans court, the 18-year-old from California, plays it inside the zone.
And that's something you see more and more of throughout the league. Is a lot of players are being scouted from down south. A lot of California-born players not only playing in the league but becoming great players and then moving on to the NHL as well. So the Western Hockey League is expanding their reach north and south.
Kitchen with a shot that went wide. And the one thing, last night we're doing the Seattle Everett game, and we had players from California, from Texas, as well as obviously Canada, Germany, Switzerland. It was who's who really. Puck dumped in by Kitchen. I've seen a couple guys over the years, it seems like, from before the last few years, maybe the odd player from California, but Colin Jacobs from Seattle out of Coppell, Texas. Hockey became popular down there when the Stars won the Stanley Cup.
Well, ever since Wayne Gretzky went to play for the LA Kings, he really started that movement down south, and hockey is just taken off down there, and more players are coming out every year.
Got a holding penalty coming up against Spokane, so we'll get that one figured out. In the meantime, let's head downstairs with Joey.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Well, the Spokane Chiefs have obviously had a storied franchise here for junior hockey, but the Spokane Indians baseball team has had some unbelievable people come through to the major leagues through this market. Tommy Lasorda is a member of what's called the Rim of Honor here at this fantastic baseball park. He was the coach of this club from 1969 to 1971. His star pitcher at the time, a very young Steve Garvey. That team was voted on by the Sporting News as the best AAA baseball team of all time. So they love their baseball here in Spokane. They love their Chiefs hockey in the WHL, and believe me, amongst many fans here, they love their beer here on a Saturday afternoon.
And it's interesting because I noticed, and Kevin, if you look to your left here from the press box, see where Joey is down there. He's getting, I said downstairs. He's now moved his way upstairs, and he's going to move his way probably directly to the right. If you can see, that's the skybox area right there.
Yeah, that's that's a popular place to be for a lot of people.
We're moments away in a 10-2 hockey game from him finding his way into that area, I think.
Well, Kootenay here is starting to do some good things here in the offensive zone. They're making some good plays, shooting the puck a lot from the blue line, and then they're having good puck retrieval down low, which means they're getting those open pucks first and maintaining puck possession.
On the board, Spokane and the Chiefs again. They've got 10 shorthanded goals this season, looking for another one in a 10-2 hockey game. Unable to get through, though.
Good desperation play by McNabb right there, as it looked like you had a step on a McNabb diving, sliding stick to break up that play.
Good to see in a 10-2 game. Here's a shot, Engel save, rebound in front, and the Chiefs able to clear. Foot race for it one more time. Uer, shot, save made by Teske. Wisely dished it off, and end to end we go. Well, McNabb.
And Rintoul right there was just dog tired. Uher had a step on him. He was at the end of a shift and didn't have much gas left in the tank there.
Teske clears it ahead. Boomer to the line. Unable to handle the pass, though, was Hurley. Gal standing up. He's about ready to step back onto the ice. It appears the Chiefs just about killed it off. We don't have a penalty clock here. It's one of the challenges we run into. Gal, usually you can tell by the player standing up, but Gal's been standing down for about 30 seconds, anxious to get back out there. 20 seconds left in the power play, we're told. Gal just a little anxious to get up there early.
Just trying to stay warm out there. It's starting to cool down here a little bit.
To the line, Rintoul shot. Engel just got a piece of that one to knock it away. Vlasic go behind the net, back on his Gal. The Chiefs are at full strength. And a chance at center ice, Brassard knocked off the puck. Play's picked up here in the third period. If you just were watching this game, you would not know it's a 10-2 score.
No, you haven't. Kootenay's been way better here in the third.
Brassard trying to cut in, couldn't get through though. Now the Chiefs will try to cycle it down low. Bardero instead brings it back to the blue line. Going to glove it ahead, battle for it along the boards. Bardero has it, quickly right back in it goes.
Well, we talked earlier about puck support. Kootenay wasn't doing a great job in the defensive zone. They're getting back now. They're doing a better job with that. They're getting the puck on the half wall, and they've got a couple different options to put that puck in the middle or up the wall. Good support here in the third for Kootenay.
Hand pass there by Spokane, and we get a whistle and a stoppage as the two teams will make a change. That's a reverse angle. Pretty good look at the area behind home plate that is filled with 7,000 plus, and James Reed is kicking back. He'll enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Yep. That's a great looking hat. Great looking toque, is it not?
You better keep a close eye on that after this game. I like that.
I don't know if they sell that in the team shop, but you show a popular player like that wearing a hat like that on the bench, and it's a great marketing tool right there. I want the hat that James Reed was wearing. I think they came out, both Reed and Engel, wearing toques for the practice on Thursday. It wasn't all that cold, but they had the good look anyway. With the outdoor practice that took place, Tim Spell saying it probably did help them a lot, having that chance to skate on this ice.
Yeah, I sure think so too. It just took all the what-ifs out of it for the Chiefs as far as what's going to be like in the ballpark, outside the ice. They got a feel for some things. That's definitely an advantage.
Well, Kevin, how much did that mean just in terms of how to play the game? And we talked about Spokane played a different game the first period than Kootenay did. They knew what they could do, what they couldn't do, maybe.
Yeah, well, to me, for sure, you have to change your game plan because you already know that the ice is not going to be cooperative. You can't make crisp passes for the most part, and you got to simplify your game. I think the Chiefs, that's probably been the difference here for me in the first two periods. The Chiefs just did a better job at playing that simple kind of on-the-wall game.
Well, what a crowd here. 7,000 in a 10-2 hockey game. We're in the third period, almost midway through the third period. In fact, just past the midway mark. And they are still not only here, but making noise. Here's a centering pass in front. Couldn't quite get to it. Johnson swings it over now for Vanscourt. Plays it in. Quickly cleared again by the Kootenay ice. And back in his own zone, Corbin Baldwin. Dished it off. Uer, left wing. Uer centering pass, broke it up. Looking for Johnson cutting to the front of the net. Baldwin at his own line. Now hard off the boards, he'll clear. Now we're just kind of settling into an easy skate here with 9 minutes to go in an 8-goal game. Puck played in. Cowan will kick it free from Antilla and then overskate it.
Yeah. And you can see the energy level by Kootenay is way up for sure. They're playing a straight line game now. Too little, too late, but still, like we heard them talk about after the second, is they want to win the period. They want to get some good habits back coming in for their game against Edmonton on Wednesday, and I think they've done that so far.
Morantz
Down the left wing to Q, and he got bumped hard on the play by McNabb, and the Ice will skate it back in. Centering pass broken up. McNabb at the line. In front, deflected just wide. Nice little setup by McNabb. Looking for Reinhardt, couldn't quite finish it off. Here's Kitchen, swings it in the zone. Kitchen still with it. Centering pass, Morantz couldn't get a backhand on the clock, and then Brassard got hammered from behind. We'll get a penalty call against Kootenay, and Spokane will go back on the power play. 10-2 our score. Still lots more to tell you about. Don't go anywhere. We're having fun. It's outdoor hockey. First time ever at the Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic.
(10-2) is the score. Spokane leading Kootenay past the midway stage of the third period. Joey Kenner on the Chiefs bench with their starting goaltender today, James Reed. 40 minutes under a nice cloudy day. Just another day at the office for a WHL goalie, isn't it?
Yeah, it was perfect. The weather was great. I felt pretty good out there. The ice is good, and the fans were awesome.
How was it like in warm-up? We were talking off the air with the sun shining and the shadows. Did you have to make any adjustments before you would normally?
I didn't really have to make any adjustments, but it was a different thing to see. I mean, like at the rinks, there's never shadows, so it's definitely interesting to see.
What's the atmosphere like from a player's perspective? I know you try to be in the zone as a player, but I'm sure you can't help but notice the excitement taking place in the stands.
Right, it's unbelievable. Like the opening ceremonies is great with that jet flying by and all the fireworks. It scared me when those fireworks kind of hopped up, but yeah, it's been awesome. But just for us players, just got to stay focused and try not to let the crowd get to us and just stick to our game.
On a final note for you personally, you're having a banner year in between the pipes for the Chiefs. It's your final year in the Western Hockey League. How important is it for you and this organization to have as long a run as possible come playoff time?
I think we will have a very good run in playoffs. I think we have the perfect team. We're pretty deep with the lines, so I just got to keep making the key saves, and I think we'll be all right.
You and I have to keep our heads up here as they're making changes on the fly. Congratulations today. Enjoy the rest of the season.
All right, thank you very much.
James Reed, who's getting a little bit of a breather here down at ice level, fellas. We throw it back to you in the broadcast booth.
Joey, where can we get the toque? We want to know where we can get the toque
Where can we get the toque, James?
I think they sell it at the arena, at the little fan shop. So I think that's where I got it.
All right. Well, maybe I'll float you a 10 spot, see if I can grab it from you. Back to you guys.
That's a good-looking lid he's got down there. I'm sure they'll sell a lot after today.
Yeah,
huh?
no doubt about it.
Spokane working on the power play.
And they're working well as well. They're executing really good down low, crisp passes, and they've really got Kootenay on the run here.
I wonder if the ice has just gotten that much better, Kevin.
You know, to me from up here, it looks like it may have. It's gotten cooler, maybe a little bit more worn in. A couple floods as well, so it looks like it's pretty good from here.
A couple saves made and shot blocked before it got through. Boomer back on, and so we now get a whistle, but the penalty has expired. This reminder to all of the folks north of the border watching on Shaw up in Canada, the game will be replayed in its entirety later on tonight, 5 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Mountain, and then again tomorrow, 12 noon Pacific, 1 o'clock Mountain. Again, rebroadcasting this entire game north of the border. If you're watching on Shaw, you'll see it in its entirety again. If you just tuned in, you're watching the Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic live from Avista Stadium in Spokane. 7,000 fans here. And if you just tuned in, you've missed a whale of a hockey game. Don't let the score 10-2 deter you at all. You want to watch the first period. It was good old-fashioned Western Hockey League action. Lots of goals, lots of scraps. But in the end, the Chiefs have started to pull away and have pulled away indeed at 10-2.
Well, I can't tell you how many times they've come out. We heard Joey talk about it earlier with the nets. But to me, it seems like the nets have been knocked off more tonight than they would in a regular game. That has to be about 10 times that the net's been knocked off tonight.
Yeah, I think they said that was the one major concern they had, not the ice or anything, although the ice, again, as you said, this looks just the way the teams are skating and playing, it just looks, there's a much better flow. And they did have a public skate here last night, but I don't know, maybe the ice needed just to be broken in a little bit more or what have you. And they had a couple issues that they were worried about that they were able to fix. There were a couple spots that maybe didn't quite have the same technology to freeze it
to the capability they wanted to. They got that fixed, and they were very careful and cautious with it, but pretty good pace in this third period.
And what a process it was to get this ice ready. I know they started it back in January 4th to lay the platform, which is about 2 feet off of ground level. And I think they have about 250 aluminum interlocking plates with 600 feet of piping connected to the largest cooling compression, portable compressor in the world. So it's something quite special here to make this rink today.
Special too was the investment that Bobby Brett and the Spokane Chiefs made to bring this here. It has paid off, and I think everybody who's come has had a good time today. It's one of those experiences you will not soon forget. Kootenay able to pick the puck up and clear. Lisman got it deep. Icing waved off. 50-50 icing calls will be pretty much waved off from here on out.
They want this thing to run out now.
Kewen, long shot, save made, rebound in front, and unable to pounce on it there was Blake Gall.
And again, I wonder how hard it is for the goaltenders to track that puck. That's a long shot right there from Kewen on net. Typically, you're going to see a Western Hockey League goaltender swallow that shot up and control the rebound, and a lot more tonight. I've seen those rebounds spit out into the slot. I wonder if they're having a tough time tracking that puck timing-wise for the rebound control.
Cowan has it behind the net. Kind of start to see some shadows creep in behind both goals as well. But just 4 minutes left to go. That should not be a concern. The biggest concern was weather, and that definitely won't be a concern. Let it rain later on tonight, that's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Bardero at center ice, he'll play it in. Clock continues to tick as Dirk plays it along the boards, unable to get it out. He'll try it again. Bump by Brassard, caused the turnover.
Well, a feather in both teams' hats, if you ask me. Not a whole lot on the line anymore. It's tough to stay focused, as we've mentioned, and I think Spokane has maintained their game plan. Maybe a let up a little bit, understandably so, but Kootenay, on the other hand, has come out and they've really put in an effort, knowing they're pretty much not going to be able to win this game, but showed a lot of pride and came out and battled a lot harder here in the third than they do in the first two periods.
Sometimes you have those periods, those just disastrous periods. If this was a 1 of 72 in the year, you chalk it up and say, hey, that happens. Unfortunately, it happened in a historic game in the Western Hockey League as far as Kootenay is concerned. Clock continues to tick inside of 3 minutes to go. In front, they score again. It's 11-2.
Well, with 3 minutes left here in the third period, we better hope that's the last one, because I think if
that was it.
This way, that's the last shot they have with the cannon, isn't it?
Last shot in the cannon. So the cannon is emptied. 11-2 our score, and here we go, Bardero. And he was able to find Morantz in front.
And Bardero's really had a good period and a fairly good game. They haven't called his name a whole lot, but he was strong on pucks as well down low. We probably didn't give him the credit he deserved. And again, another guy that had a great game with his second goal of the night is Matt Morantz.
Yeah, Morantz now second of the night, 14 on the year. Here comes Spokane again, and a chance in front, opportunity for Mitch Holmberg, but he couldn't quite hammer it home. 2.5 to go in the hockey game. The route is on. It has been on for a while. Into the corner it goes now. Isman. Cleared away by Spokane. Held into the blue line though. Montgomery let a shot go that went wide. McNabb. Brought it back to Montgomery cutting in. Montgomery, a penalty upcoming against the Spokane Chiefs. Extra attacker is on. Hustling over to touch up is Van Dane. The whistle sounds and we'll get a penalty. Now, looks like Darren Kramer was trying to mix something up there, but he might be the penalized party here with 2:03 left to go.
Well, with Kramer now leading the league with majors at 30, if you can believe that. He's only played 38 games. He was trying to make it 31 there, and I just don't think Kootenay is really interested in any of that anymore, especially with a power play coming and 2:03 left on the clock.
We mentioned the outdoor skating last night. We have some, I believe, some pretty good footage of that from the public skating that they were able to do here at Avista Stadium. And just one of the things we talk about is what they were able to do here, the Brett family and certainly the Spokane Chiefs, and what a great scene this was last night as the local residents could come out, strap on the blades, and head on out there, and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity or not. I think we can all push Bobby into the realm of doing this again. Boomer was here. Very cool.
Well, look at that scene right there. How special is that for you to be out there if you have kids maybe skating around? It looks like everybody had such a great time. Spokane did a great job involving the community in this process as well.
I think all you had to do, that smile says it all, does it not? That smile says it all. And you hear the cheer below. You can kind of see at the bottom left of your screen. Darren Kramer is making his way to the dressing room. He's done for the night.
And this is the guy that was playing in Tier 2 Junior A hockey, and then Chris Moulton, the head scout of the Chiefs, was actually helping out a team in Kootenay run a Junior B practice, and Kramer's best buddy plays on that team. And just happened to mention to Moulty that Kramer's looking to get in the Western Hockey League. The next day, Chris Moulton went and looked at him and said this kid could play in the Western League, and he's made an instant impact for the Spokane Chiefs, become a fan favorite, and really he's that heart and soul guy that every team needs, and the Chiefs are happy to have him.
About 190 penalty minutes after today, but on top of that, he's got 4 goals this season.
Yep. He chips in, he plays a really simple role, or a simple game, he knows his role. I think what's probably one of the best stats for Darren Kramer is, like I said, he leads the league in 30 majors, and he's only got about 20 or so minor penalties, so that says a lot. He plays a real tough game, and it's not always easy to stay out of the penalty box with minors. He's done a good job of that.
There's a shot taken, blocked by Vanscourt, however. Kootenay trying to get one more before it's all said and done, with a minute left to go in the first ever outdoor hockey game, and the fans, by and large, are still here, and they're making some noise.
Well, they're showing their appreciation for a great job by the Chiefs organization, the Western Hockey League, but obviously they're Spokane Chiefs here with a huge 11-2 victory here over the Kootenay Ice.
Just credit to both teams, and a big thanks goes out to Jeff Chanel, obviously, as well as Chris Knobloch and the entire organization for the Kootenay Ice. They had to be involved. They had to be flexible, buy into the whole situation. Obviously, it's a different circumstance. They're going on the road on top of everything else, so a lot of credit has to go to the Kootenay Ice organization, from Jeff Chanel all the way down to, and of course we mentioned Bobby Brett, Tim Speltz. Spokane Chiefs have consistently been one of the best organizations on and off the ice over the last few years. The clock ticks down. And with that final save by Matt Engel, it's in the books. Much to the delight of the 7,000 fans, Spokane has won, and won big, in the first ever Western Hockey League outdoor game. 11-2 is our final. The Chiefs celebrate down below, and this one means maybe just a little bit more than normal.
Well, what a feeling there is in the building coming into the game, throughout the game, and now after. Everybody's on their feet, and you know that this is an appreciative crowd here in Spokane. They've been treated to a great show, like I said, on and off the ice.
And I believe as that both teams line up at the blue line, our little post-game festivities to take place as well. 11-2 the final. Spokane, again, using the baseball analogy, 4 in the first, 6 in the second, 1 in the third, to add up to an 11-2 final. 1 in the first, 1 in the third period for the Kootenay Ice, who won big last night against the same Spokane team, 6-2.
Well, you're not going to see that kind of a score very often, see an outdoor classic very often, and you're not going to see Kootenay's effort like that very often. Hats off to them. I really thought that after having 2 poor periods uncharacteristically, they came out and they battled in the third, and it showed a lot of character by them and by their organization.
We got the 3-star selections coming up. And we will take a listen here. Blake Gall is the 3rd star. I'm assuming we're going in reverse order. Second star coming up. Tyler Vanscourt, Spokane defenseman, had a couple of goals out of Corona, California. He's got, by the way, 13 points in his last 16 games.
He helps offensively, and I thought he played a good physical game tonight as well.
Now with a pair of goals, Steve Kuhn is the game's first star in the first outdoor game here at Avista Stadium. And I think they're going to do a handshake here at the end.
Yep.
And they are indeed. Let's go downstairs while the teams exchange handshakes. We'll check in with Joey.
Thanks very much, guys. Yeah, the traditional ceremonial handshake. This is, to me, one of the greatest aspects of hockey at any level. Blood and guts out there. How many scraps have these two teams had in the past 24 hours. 3 or 4 today, 8 last night, but it's a ceremonial handshake. Everybody knows in both locker rooms how special an event this was. A lot of these players may never get a chance to ever play outdoors ever again, and they will pose together as 2 teams for a commemorative photo as well here at center ice. Obviously one team ecstatic, one team very, very disappointed, but still, one day for the record books in major junior hockey here in North America.
Well said, Joey. It's the sport as both teams salute with the sticks raised high, the 7,000 fans. It's moments like this and the exchanging of handshakes, which we just saw, that's what separates hockey from so many other sports. As Joey mentioned, I mean, they've had, 13 fights between the 2 teams in the last 2 days. Yep. In less than 24 hours, they exchange handshakes, and now they'll gather at center ice for a photo, and as you can see, they're very much separated, but a photo nonetheless. What a great sight this is. What an absolutely fantastic sight.
And you see the coaches joining the photo as well. A chance in a lifetime here. You don't see this ever. 2 teams in the regular season taking a team photo together, and not easy for the Kootenay to be a part of right now, or easy for them to smile, but nonetheless, what a great photo that is.
Yeah, you've got one team that will certainly cherish this photo immediately. The other team, it might take a few years out of the game before they realize the significance, importance, and understand how much it did mean. The appreciation level probably not quite there, obviously, for the team in the white, but both teams put on a very nice show. It was an interesting game because the first period, as mentioned, it was a 4-1 game after 1, but with Kootenay scoring at the end, they kind of looked like they were turning it around. Yeah. It was just an abysmal second period. Spokane outscored Kootenay 6-0 in that second. They took the game over, and they just ran away with it at that particular time. And Spokane avenges a loss last night that snapped the 7-game losing streak, and the Chiefs are sitting there, and they're in very, very good shape now with 57 points on the season, and for the moment they're tied with Portland with 57 as well for the division lead and top the Western Conference standings as well. Let's head back downstairs and check in with Joey.
Thank you very much, fellas. Tyler Johnson, a Spokane boy, has won a World Junior Gold Medal. You've won a Memorial Cup. You've won any prize that a junior hockey player can have, but does today's game here in your hometown outdoors rank right up there with them?
Yeah, it's really cool, especially because it's the first one ever, so for the boys to come out and prepared like that, I mean, it's tough conditions out here, and I thought we did really well with it, and it means a lot.
How important was the start to get the crowd into it, to get the home team into it? You couldn't have asked for a better opening 20, could you?
No, not at all. I mean, it was great from the start. We had a little test with the ice, so maybe we had a little advantage for that, so we got out there good, and we just kept going.
What was the ice conditions like? I know you guys practiced here on Thursday. A lot of these players, I'm sure yourself included, have never skated outdoors. Was it a little bit better than maybe what you thought it might be when you woke up this morning under the sun?
Yeah, I thought so. The ice is still a little rough. You can't make the skilled plays that you can usually make, but they did a great job with it, and as the night went on, I thought it even got better. So it was great. It was a lot of fun, and I always going to remember this.
Finally, what can you say about the fans in this market to come out 7,000 plus under gray skies, under the lights, to see junior hockey in a setting they might never see again?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Spokane fans are just great. There's second to none. So, I was one of them, and now I'm part of the Chiefs, and it's great. They make us feel at home, and this was just a dream come true.
Tyler, congratulations on a memorable day here in front of your hometown family and friends, and as well with your hometown team.
Thank you.
Tyler Johnson, assistant captain and 20-year-old with the Spokane Chiefs, joining us after he and his club put up 11 goals. 11-2 is your final. Chiefs defeat the Kootenay Ice here. More to come from Avista Stadium. You are watching the Rockstar Outdoor Hockey Classic here in Spokane, Washington.